Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya. Shri Shri Karni Sai Maya Pushashi ki, Shri Nityananda Ram ki. Ouch.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Okay. Thanks for coming. So we are celebrating Nityananda Trayodashi today, and also there are a few other celebrations going on. Actually, we are also celebrating the Vrinda Devi installation at Karuna Bhavan and Shalagram Shila's installation as well, and also Sri Varaha Dwadashi today, this Varaha appearance day. So we are celebrating a few celebrations. So thanks for all coming. Just for your information, the shop is open. We have a shop called Aradhya Shop where you can get a lot of spiritual items. And also from today, they are also selling, for donation, pizza, cake, and samosas. So it's going to be very yummy. Haribol. And as a actually, Prana Prabhu will give an intro talk in the next few minutes. Before that, I would like to call up on Vaidehi to sing a bhajan. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Nityananda Vadhutendo Vasudha Pranavallabha Janvi Jeevitapati Krishna Prema Prada Prabhu. Let us try, everyone. Nityananda Vadhutendo Vasudha Pranavallabha Janvi Jeevitapati Krishna Prema Prada Prabhu. Nityananda Vadhutendo वसुधा प्राणवल्लभा जानवी जीवितापति कृष्ण प्रेम प्रधा प्रभु। We'll try much louder, please. Nityananda Vadhutendo Vasudha Pranavallabha Janvi Jivitapati Krishna Prema Pradha Prabhu. Padmavati Suto Shriman Sachinandana Purvaja Bhavo Mato Jagatatra Rakta Gaura Kalevara. Padmavati Suto Shriman Sachinandana Purvaja Bhavo Mato Jagatatra Ratna Gaura Kalevara. Shri Nityananda Chandrasya Namadvadashakam Shubham Ya idam pratam prata Patetaura patenara. Shri Nityananda Chandrasya Namadvadashakam Shubham Ya idam pratam prata Patetaura patenara. Shri Nityananda Chandrasya Namadvadasham Shubham Ya idam prahatam pratha Pratheutya pathenara. Saklisho hrayito bhutva prapunya svamanoratam turanam chaitanya devasya करुणाभजनं भवे सक्लिशोरहितो भूत्वा प्रपुण्य स्वमनोरथम् पूरणं चैतन्यदेवस्य करुणाभजनं भवे सक्लिशोरहितो भूत्वा प्रपुण्य स्वमनोरथम् तरुणं चैतन्यदेवस्य करुणाभजनं भवे सक्लिशरहितो भूत्वा प्रपुण्य स्वमनोरथम् पूरणं चैतन्यदेवस्य करुणाभजनं भवे हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे Shri Nityananda Trayodashi ki, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki, Jai Gaur Premanandi.
Translation. Sri Nityananda Prabhu is the embodiment of eternal bliss. He is the moon of all Avdutas and the beloved of life breath of Vasudha, his wife. Lord Nityananda is the husband enthusing Janavi with life. Nityananda Ram bestows ecstatic love for the Krishna, and he is the Lord and Master of the devotees. Sri Nityananda is the dear son of a Padmavati, and he is full of splendorous transcendental majesty. Nitai is the older brother of Sachimata's son Nimai. Nityananda Avduta is a maddened in overwhelming ecstatic emotions. Sri Nityananda Prabhu is the savior of the universe. His complexion is golden, tinged with the red.
That person who recites these 12 auspicious holy names of the moon like Nityananda Chandra every day upon arising in the morning, such a person becomes free from all difficulties and attains all their most cherished desires. Very soon they become the object of Lord Chaitanya Deva's mercy.
Thank you. So just like to welcome everyone to Kinnabarton. Thanks for coming along on this most auspicious appearance of Lord Nityananda. Although tomorrow is the actual day, then obviously tomorrow some of you will be working, and we'll be celebrating at the temple on the day as well. So if any of you are not working or decide you want to skip it, then you need to let us know. So just I'll go through the program. If you don't, does everyone have a copy of the program on their phone? And if you don't, then I'll just go through it anyway. They did try to print something up, but the printer decided to do a Kali Yuga on us. So Nityananda Avadut. This is an aspect of, because it's not only are we celebrating Lord Nityananda's appearance, but there's a few other things we're celebrating, which we'll come to in a second. But one of the interesting, unique aspects of Lord Nityananda is he's known as Avadut, which means he doesn't have to follow any rules or regulations. Well, not that he doesn't have to, but he just doesn't. But we shouldn't imitate that. Imitating that is actually a big mistake, because we're still subject to the laws of material nature. If we imitate that, then that's all we're doing, imitating it. It's like if you see Superman flying out of a window and you decide to imitate it, then not a very wise thing to do. What to speak of if God acts beyond the rules and regulations because he doesn't have to, then we certainly don't act like that. So this, going to sing, because also there's a few other aspects of today's program. Historically, this used to be a 3-day festival, because Srimati Vrindadevi was installed. The inauguration of the 12,000 Shalagram Shilas, which we had at that time, started. And we used to do 1 day for each of those festivals. So it seems like Ram Lakshman, he put the program together, and it seems like he had to give like 3.5 minutes for this, 2.25 minutes for that. And of course, it's also the appearance of Lord Varahadev. So the main festival is Lord Nityananda's appearance, but we can't neglect the other ones. So I think maybe in the future what we'll do is perhaps a 2-day festival. So 1 day is solely on Lord Nityananda, and everyone else can have their day between them. And that way we could actually make a weekend of it. Anybody interested? Yeah. Okay. I'm sure the rest of you just were too shy to put your hand up. So in a few minutes we'll sing a bhajan if we have time. or we'll go straight into the slideshow of the shallograms, how they came to be here. Also, Shrimati Vrinda Devi, she was installed here. There's a story about that. And Alip Tavani is going to speak about Shrimati Vrinda Devi. Although I don't, where is she? Oh, yeah. Are you going to speak about Shrimati Vrinda Devi? Are you going to speak about how she came to Scotland? Right, okay. So I can speak a little bit about that then, included in the history of the shallograms. And she'll also speak a little bit about Lord Varahadev, who lifted the earth up from the nether regions. And we can pray to Lord Varahadev to lift our mind out of the nether regions and to put us back on a proper track again. Also, some Bhakti Step awards. For those of you who are not familiar, then we have sometimes people come and they think, oh, unless I can chant 16 rounds and follow the 4 regulative principles, then I'm a waste of space. But it's not the case. So we try to encourage everybody to take a step forward to whatever they can manage. If they manage 1 round a day, 2 rounds, 4 rounds, whatever, and they follow to whatever degree they can, and try to keep that steady. And in this way, we can build towards it. So for those who are initiated and who have been doing service for some time, or who are on that level of being initiated, there was probably a time when they thought also, I'll never be on that level. Or you read Prabhupada's books and you think, oh, this sounds great, but I could never do that. But then some time later on, you're looking back and thinking, no, we did it. Because as soon as, if you have that desire, Krishna will fulfill that. He'll make arrangements to bring you closer. And things that we thought we could never give up or we could never do, then Krishna makes that possible. And Dhok Prabhu will be giving a talk on pleasing Lord Nityananda by engaging in the mission of Lord Chaitanya, which is the Sankirtan Yagya, Harinam Sankirtan. And then Bhaktin Vidya will be leading Kirtan. And then someone's going to sing another song about Lord Nityananda. And then there'll be a drama or a dramatic narration of the deliverance of Jagai and Madai, then Gora Arti and Prasad Feast. So I would just like to make a few announcements just before going any further, because sometimes it's quite a long program. It'll be going on till 7, and you may not all be here for the full program. Hopefully you will. But I thought it'd be worth mentioning a few announcements, and it's good timing actually, because today's feast is sponsored by Carol and Paul in memory of Carol's mum, Brenda Taylor, who recently passed. So we'd like the devotees to say some prayers for her well-being, and we're sure that Krishna will take care of Brenda. This is the thing, that when you become a devotee, then Krishna takes care of all your dependents, takes care of all your responsibilities. It's a promise he makes. So we'd like to thank Paul and Carol for sponsoring today's feast. The outfit today is a new outfit. Karun Sindhu made this outfit, finished last night, just in time. And Pradyumna Prabhu, he sponsored this outfit. The shop is opened as we speak. That's opened at the moment. That'll be opened the whole way through. There's a nice new item in there. And also following on from last week's meeting, then Rajasa and team, they were busy making pizza, samosa and cake. So we don't want a mass exodus at this very point in time of the temple. But you don't have to eat it all, because there will be a feast prepared. But at the same time, as we're trying to raise extra funds, then very inspired to see Rajasa and his family. This morning they were up early making preparations for this. And it may be that you can give them your orders for next week as well, so then they know to make enough. Also, I'd just like to let the devotees know that a devotee known to some of us, Garanganam, he passed away a few days ago. He had a stroke, second stroke he had, and he was a devotee who lived here in the 90s, and he was a very interesting individual. He was a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya. His name was Garanganam. He was very much dedicated to the Gauranga campaign. At one time, we had this campaign of spreading the name of Lord Chaitanya, and he engaged in that very much so. I remember at one time, I don't know if some of you remember when mobile phones came out at first. It used to be basically you'd be charged per letter that you wrote. So we had some contract where we would give out, we'd send out texts to random numbers. It was before the days of data protection and spam came in. So he was basically, I think he got the nickname Gauranga Spam because he used to send, he had so many to make up in a month. His contract was allowed to send out so many thousands per month, thousands of texts, and he would just send a random text to people out the blue, call it Gauranga, be happy. And it would come to the last day of the month, and he'd stay up all night sending them. So people would be lying in their bed, getting texts, waking up, call out Gauranga, and they'd be writing things back like not such friendly responses. Call out Gauranga. I'll call out Gauranga when I get a hold of you. And yeah, he was a great devotee of Lord Nityananda as well. So it's certainly relevant to mention his name at this festival. So I want to give him a special mention there. For those who know him, we'll let you know if there's any details about funeral arrangements. So we're a bit short of time because the ringmaster, Ram Lakshman, is keeping an eye on the time here. And I've got to do a bhajan and a talk within the next 25 minutes. And he's standing there with a big rod of chastisement waiting on me. One hair out of place. So because of the mood of Lord Nityananda, we'll do this bhajan and then we'll go on with the talk. Can you play a D? No. Boro sukher khabar gai, boro sukher khabar gai. Boro sukher khabar gai, boro sukher khabar gai. Sura pe kunjete, namer hat kuleche. Sura pe kunjete. Sura pe kunjete, namer hat kuleche. Kodanitai, kodanitai. Boromoja katatai, boromoja katatai. Boromoja katatai, boromoja katatai. Shradamurye shudanam sehate tebikai. Shradamurye shudanam sehate tebikai. Jatabhakta Vrindabasi, Jatabhakta Vrindabasi. Jatabhakta Vrindabasi, Jatabhakta Vrindabasi. Adhikari dekinam vichidaro kasi. Adhikari dekinam vichidaro kasi. Jadinam kinbe bhai, Jadinam kinbe bhai. Jadinam kinbe bhai, Jadinam kinbe bhai. Amar sange chalo mahajaner kache jai. Amar sange chalo mahajaner kache jai. Tume kinbe Krishna nam, tume kinbe Krishna nam. Tume kinbe Krishna nam, tume kinbe Krishna nam. Kasturi loebo ame purna habe kam. Kasturi loebo ame purna habe kam. Borodoya Nityananda, Borodoya Nityananda. Borodoya Nityananda, Borodoya Nityananda. Shraddha Matra Loyden Paramananda. Shraddha Matra Loyden Paramananda. एक बार देख ले चके जाओ, एक बार देख ले चके जाओ. एक बार देख ले चके जाओ, एक बार देख ले चके जाओ. Gora bole nitai den sakala sambal. Gora bole nitai den sakala sambal. Den Shuddha Krishna Sikha, Den Shuddha Krishna Sikha. Den Shuddha Krishna Sikha, Den Shuddha Krishna Sikha. Jatidana Vidya Balana Kare Apeka. Jatidana Vidya Balana Kare Apeka. Ramani Chari Maya Jal, Ramani Chari Maya Jal. Ramani Chari Maya Jal, Ramani Chari Maya Jal. Grihe Tako Bhane Tako Natake Janjal. Grihe Tako Bhane Tako Natake Janjal. Anaiko Kalir Boy, Anaiko Kalir Boy. Anaiko Kalir Boy, Anaiko Kalir Boy. Achandale de nam nitai doya moy. Achandale de nam nitai doya moy. Bhaktivino dake koi, Bhaktivino dake koi. Bhaktivino dake koi, Bhaktivino dake koi. Nitai charan bina nahi ashray. Nitai charan bina nahi ashray. Borosuke kaburgai, Borosuke kaburgai. Borosuke kaburgai, Borosuke kaburgai. Kaburgai. So translation. I'm singing news of great happy tidings. Lord Nityananda himself has opened a marketplace of the holy name in Surabi Kunj. The news of its great results is that he is selling the pure holy name in that marketplace for the price of only one's faith. Lord Nityananda, the proprietor of the market, seeing all the devotees become attracted, is selling them the holy name after bargaining with them. Oh brother, if you want to buy the holy name, then go with me. We must go to the presence of that great soul Nityananda. You will buy the name of Krishna, I will take my commission, and all of our desires will be fulfilled. Lord Nityananda is greatly merciful. Taking only one's faith, he gives the highest ecstasy. If Nitai sees only one's tears in the eyes while chanting the name Gaura, then he gives all resources to that person. He gives the pure teachings of Krishna to everyone and does not care for one's birth, wealth, knowledge, and strength. Now giving up the illusory snare of Maya, either remain in household life or in the forest as a sannyasi, for no more troubles remain. There's no more fear in the age of Kali. The merciful Nityananda gives the holy name to even the Chandalas. Bhaktivinoda calls out, except for the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, there is no other shelter. So a good point there is giving up the snare, the illusory snare of Maya, whether we remain in household life or become a renunciant. So when he says Grihi Takunat Bani Takunata Ki Janjal, doesn't mean to say that we still live the life of a Vishayi. Does anybody know what a Vishayi is? What's that? Sense enjoyer, right? Godas. We have Goswami, we have Krishna Das, and we have Godas. Imagine your spiritual master initiated you as Godas. That would be quite humbling, wouldn't it? Your new name is Godas Adhikari. That would be quite a humbling thing. Okay, you can go for a wee walk. We don't do this kind of thing in the temple. This is just sahaja nonsense. Yeah. So back to the subject again. Just ignore it. It's a show bottle nonsense. I'm just going to be straightforward about this. This is just looking for attention. The date is here. It's their appearance day. The attention's on them, and the purpose we're here, not for some person just to put on some fake ecstasies. We don't do that kind of thing here. So that's that. Okay, moving on. So Vishaya means that Godas or Godasi, that we're seven of our senses. And but Lord Nityananda, back to what Thakur was saying, that even if you're in household life, it doesn't matter, because what we're renouncing is the illusory snare of Maya. It's not that we, because in renouncing that means that we give up this misconception that I am the proprietor, I am the enjoyer. But we remember this verse, Bhoktaram Jagatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suridam Sarvabhutanam Gyatramam Shantam Richati. That Krishna, he is the supreme enjoyer. And when we serve Krishna, then we automatically get enjoyment. This is how. And Prabhupada says this, that everybody, the soul is anandamaya, pleasure seeking. Just take your attention off that, Prabhu. That's not, it's not consequential. Yeah, so our position is that, Prabhupada says that we want to enjoy, the soul is anandamaya, looking for pleasure, but we don't know how to enjoy. We know how to suffer, and we know how to enjoy in such a way that we create suffering for our future. And this is Lord Nityananda's mood, that he wants everybody to really enjoy Nityananda, eternal bliss. But what we're experiencing is not Nityananda, it's Nirananda, which doesn't mean to say it's very close to Ananda, it's very near, but near means like Nirjan or Nirvana. It's the opposite of Ananda. So granted, we can find some temporary pleasure in the material world, but it's temporary, and then there's a price to pay. So therefore, Tato Brahma Jigyasa, when we have the human form of life, everybody sitting here has realized to some degree that this human form of life is not simply meant for polished animalism, as Prabhupada would call it. Just like sometimes people are competing to see how many nuclear bombs they have. We've got the best, we've got the shiniest nuclear bombs, we'll parade them down our street and let you see how many we've got. And probably if you knock on it, it'd just be an empty shell. Who knows? But and they think they're so advanced. Oh, we've got the best bombs. But Prabhupada said, what advancement is there? Dog is animal is attacking with its claws or its fangs or its teeth. It's defending like that, and the humans are defending with their nuclear bombs. So what's the advancement? It's simply just advancement in the animal propensity of defending, isn't it? So the real advancement is actually to accept Krishna as our shelter and get out of this world. That's the whole purpose. So this subject usually takes about an hour to speak, but we're going to have to go on fast forward. And I think it's become obvious that we have to maybe make, because you can't really have like an 8-hour festival all day and expect everyone to sit there, so we have to do it over a couple of days, I think. Just sit back a bit. Most of you are probably familiar with this slideshow we put together a few years ago. This was the some slides taken of the Shalagam. So on the altar, we'll see the main deities here are Shishi, Kodnitai, Marpashashi. If you're not familiar with Gaura Nitai, then they are Krishna and Balaram. In Dwapar Yuga, we had Krishna and Balaram, but they descended, Golokera Premadan Harinam Sankirtan, they descended to bring the gift of Krishna Premadan from Goloka Vrindavan. And to the right, our right of Lord Nityananda, we see it as positioned lower on the altar is Giridhari Lal from Govardhan, and then to the far right is Sri Tulsinath, and in front is Lord Nrsingadev. So Giridhari Lal is Govardhan Sheila. I'm sure most of you are familiar with Sheilas. And Sri Tulsinath, he is the main Pradhan, or worshipping the main deity or Shila, which everything is worshipped. All the worship is gone through, and all the offerings are made to. So with deities, generally you have something called Murti Stapana, isn't it? Is that what you call it? Sam Stapana or Murti Stapan, Pran Pratishta. And you call the deity, the personality of the deity that you're planning to worship, to be present in that form. And the deity is carved according to the Shastra, the directions given, the descriptions given. But Shalagram Shila, they are known as self-manifesting. They don't have to be installed. They're already the Lord. So there's no sense of having to install these deities. So as soon as you find one, then he's already the Lord worshipped. And for millennia, great sages would go to the Himalayas, and they would go to the Gandaki River, and they would find these Shalagram Shilas in the Gandaki River. And traditionally, they would stand waist deep in the Gandaki River, and they would chant Gayatri, and they would say some prayers, and they would have their hand like this, and the Shalagram would pop up onto their hands. And I think it was Raghunath Bhatta Goswami who did this. And of course, we know the story of, if you don't know the story, I'll tell it quickly, is Gopal Bhatta Goswami, actually, he was the one who worshipped Radha Raman, isn't it? Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So a couple of fun facts for those who have not yet been, perhaps going soon. If you go to Radha Raman temple in Vrindavan, one of the 7 major temples in Vrindavan, you see a beautiful small deity of Krishna, black. He originally was in the Shalagram form, and Gopal Bhatta Goswami was desiring that he could also have a form of the Lord, Tribhanga, a threefold bending form, that he could dress. And one morning he got up and his Shalagram had manifested into that form. In Vrindadevi's room next door, there's a picture of Radha Raman on the wall, and you can see, for anyone who's familiar with shalagrams, you can see the texture of his body is just like a shalagram. But he didn't have to be installed. So we'll just give a quick tour. So that's Radharaman Devji Maharaj Ki. And different times of the year you go there, you get some amazing prasadam. I was just remembering the other day, one time I went in the hot season, and I went in and the floor was swimming, and I thought it must be a burst pipe or something. It turned out they had a shower over the deity's head, and the water was just running off him constantly, and this Charnamrita was coming off the altar into the floor of the temple room. So you're paying your dandavats in the deity's Charnamrita. Okay, so we'll go to the next slide. So this is Lumbini Airways. Does anybody know the significance of the place Lumbini? Probably Gandaki does. You probably know all the answers if there are any questions here. Yep, that's the place where Buddha appeared, Lumbini. It's in Nepal. So, interesting thing about Nepal. Anyone from Nepal here? Is that there is so much a good example of not being sectarian is that if you ask someone, are you Buddhist or Hindu, then they have to think about it, because they go to each other's temple functions, which is a good example to the rest of the world, because they see God in so many places. They don't just think God is only in our place of worship. So back in the late 90s, we were given an instruction to go to the Gandaki River and bring back a certain amount of Shalagram Shilas. And there's a few ways you can get to Gandaki River. So if you've ever been to Nepal, generally you arrive at the capital, Kathmandu, and then you'll take an 8 hour bus journey to Pokhara, and from there you can either trek for 3 days or you can get the half-hour mountain flight, which is quite an interesting flight. It's one of those things that when you go through the valleys, it can get so turbulent that the plane just turns back, and that's so they fly 3 planes a day, 9 a.m., 9:30, and 10 a.m. After that, the wind is too turbulent, and even those ones who do fly, if the wind changes too bad, it's too late to go back, so you have to go forward anyway. So some days there's no flights, so we took a chance. Being passionate Westerners, we thought we'll just take a chance on it and fly up. 3 days is too long. So Prabhadvani and myself, we were told that you get the shalagrams at Muktinath. So we flew from Pokhara to a place called Jomsom, isn't it? Jomsom. And then we got on these mules. First time I think Prabhadvani and I had ever sat on a horse. And his horse was actually quite disobedient. He almost got chucked over the gorge. Well, he did actually come off the horse and he was hanging from the stirrups. And I started laughing because it looked funny, but I realised it was actually lack of oxygen that was causing me to laugh. And I thought, this is not a funny situation. This is very dangerous. So I jumped off, got his foot off of the stirrup. And then our Sherpa is like your trek guide. He got off and swapped horses. So we went up to this place here called Muktinath, which is halfway up Dholagiri. Dholagiri is 24,000 feet, and this is about 12,000 feet up at this point. And this is the Muktinath temple. That's not the deity's laundry hanging up. That's some prayer flags. They have this thing where they write mantras on the flags, and apparently the wind going through it carries it throughout the planet. This is their concept of things. So in this temple, we have Lord Muktinath, and we have Sita. Is it Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman or just Sita? Do you remember Gandaki? Have you seen? But the main deities of Muktinath. And we didn't have. This is quite a nice, typical kind of Nepali Tibetan style of temple. And generally, people don't go up there that time of the year. So this was about this time of the year. And there's no trekkers, there's no tourists because everything is frozen, which turned out to be a blessing in disguise, even though it was extremely cold, because all the ice and snow was on the mountains, as you can see. It hadn't thawed out. But when it does thaw, then Gandaki River is very wide, fast flowing. So when we went there, as you can see in the upcoming photographs, next, this is the entrance to Muktinath Temple. Surrounding the back of that temple, there's 108 water outlets where you can get this shower. People trek up there, and no matter what time of year it is, then they strip down to their gumshoe or whatever, and they run underneath those outlets, and they have a snan bath. So when the snow, this is just looking over the rooftops of these lodges. When that melts, then the Gandaki is much wider and faster flowing. But we discovered that there was no shalagrams to be had here, and that we should go further back down again. This is Kagbeni, the confluence of Gandaki River and, do you know the other one? It's two rivers, isn't it? I can't remember the other one. Just like you get Triveni or Triveni, this is Kagbeni. Also, so we can see this is generally the width of Gandaki River, but only that little rivulet in the middle was how it was. So the rest of it was dry bank, which made it easier to find the shalagrams. And this is land that they cultivate. So that's myself. They're trying to find some shallograms. To begin with, we couldn't find any at all. And we thought, okay, this is not going to be as easy as we anticipated. So we had to start saying some prayers, and then we notice one or two. And then from where you're sitting, you just start spotting a few, and then you go and collect them, and then put them in your bag. And then in the evening, we'd go back to the lodge and oil them up with nice oils. And they'd be sitting in there on a table between our beds. Prabhadvani was in one bed, I was in the other, and the shallograms would be here. And it was amazing. We spent that year, we went up there twice, 2 weeks each time. And the dreams that we'd be having, one night I had a dream that there was, you see the embankments there. I had a dream that I found a big 8-foot tall shallogram, and I was thinking, oh, I wonder if I'm going to find that one today. So I started looking on the embankments to see if I could find it, but it was not to be. So this is actually when Sri Tulsidath made his appearance. This the boy on the left, who's a local Nepali, and he had a big kind of truncheon made of stone, and he was going around cracking shallograms like they were nuts on Halloween. And he was trying to sell us them. He says, no, we don't want broken. He didn't speak a word of English, so of course, to break open a shallogram is, for us, it's just something you would never do. But sometimes due to poverty, ignorance, or whatever, then these people think, break them open, sell the fossils to the tourists. So he says, oh, look, we're not going to buy, because you're not supposed to buy, you can't put a price on the Lord. You're not supposed to buy a shallogram, and you're not supposed to sell a shallogram either. So he said, we're not going to buy them from you, but we'll give you, I think it was 1,000 rupees, which is about a tenner, £10. If you just bring us the shallograms, don't break. So we said, okay. And then about 45 minutes later, he came back with this big shallogram, which became Sri Tulsinath. And this was just from the mountain flight on the way back. We can see the Gandaki down in the valley. So interesting thing with Sri Tulsinath and the shallograms, we were actually told to bring so many Shilas back, and we thought we can only bring small ones back because the big ones would be too many, and it's going to take a long time. So our intention was to, I know I'm over time, I'll try and wrap it up, boss. I said, I know I'm over time, I'll try and wrap it up soon. You can dock my hours on the next Bhajan. So the interesting thing is, we were thinking that Tulsinath was such an amazing shallogram. We hadn't seen one like that before. Such a beautiful form. We thought we'd just take him back to our lodge, we'll oil him up, and then we're leaving the next day. We'll put him back in the Gandaki River before we leave. But somehow or another, I think we must have slept in that day. And we thought, okay, we'll take him down to Jomsom. It's like a couple hours walk, and we'll put him in the Gandaki River there because we've got a day to spare before we fly. One thing led to another. It never happened. So we thought, okay, we'll leave him out of the hotel we're staying in, and the guy's safe because we'll be coming back there again in a few weeks' time. And then somehow or another we doubted it. We thought, okay, what happens if we're in Vrindavan, which is where we're going next, and we got a phone call to do something else, and that shallogram stuck in the safe? Let's take him to Vrindavan and we'll bring him back with us. So, actually, just before we get to Vrindavan, you're also not supposed to take shallograms out of the country, and they don't like you taking shallograms. So when we boarded the flight to go from Jomsom back down to Pokhara, then we had a little trick we employed. We had a couple of different jackets and bags, and what we did is we loaded up our pockets and bags underneath, and we put another jacket on top and filled all our pockets full of rubbish. And when we get asked to empty our pockets out, this is the standard kind of security they had, you to empty out your pockets. So we just like take our time, one thing, another thing. We're just taking for ages, and we actually made sure we were last in the queue, so we're going to hold up everything. They said, okay, just go. But we had one shallogram, it was Tulsinath. They said, do you have any shallograms? And we said, oh, just the one. But we had, probably a few thousand. So eventually we got to Vrindavan, and the Scottish Yatra has a house in Vrindavan just across the road from Shiv Ram Swami. And he came in and seen Tulsinath. He said, "Oh, he'd look good on the altar of New Vrajadam." And I don't know what made me say it, but I says, "No, if he's going anywhere, he's coming to Krunabavan." So that's what happened. It was, I think I had arrived back on Nrsimha Chaturdashi, and that's when he made his first appearance on the altar at Krunabavan, down at the old temple room. And this is where he to begin with, he was on the altar at Krunabavan for a short while, but he was worshipped in Krunabavan, the other puja room, which is where my office is just now. But in Garanga Ashram, Garanga Lodge, then this is now a guest room. But I think Jagannath Prabhu sometimes, is he here? Jagannath Sutta. So sometimes he stays there, and also other devotees sometimes stay there. But this is where Tulsinath and all the shalagrams used to be in that silver tray or snan vedi. This is where they remain, and they're available for darshan in the other little temple room. If you don't know what that is, just ask any of the local devotees. They can take you around and show you darshan of the shalagrams. Of course, we don't have as many as we did have then. We did have over 12,000. And in those days, the offerings we used to make, we had a lot of pujaris in those days, so we used to do quite elaborate offerings for Koni Tamar Pishashi. Giridhari Lal was next door with Srimati Vrindadevi. He would get his own offerings, and Vrindadevi would get his maha. And I was pujari to begin with, and I would do the puja, and then we cook something for him every morning. It would be like sweet rice, halava, semolina, fruit salad. So normally on this festival day, we'd make all these things for him, and there'd be a big feast and all these different preparations he would get. So I think for the pleasure of Sri Tulsinath and the devotees, then we can have one festival dedicated to that next year. So that was just a brief version of it. And this is, we used to do on this festival appearance day, we would do a special abhishek of Sri Tulsinath here. You can show a few of the pictures, just go through them. At one time, we bathed him in 108 different substances and would make dried fruit garlands. And typically, we'd bathe him with the panchagavya and stuff. So, anyone get any questions or comments about this? Yes, sir.
Just like one thought, seeing the Murtinath temple there, and winter time, maybe December, January, or something, but the sky looks so clear and very nice and sunny it looked.
Mm.
Bro, one quick question. So you returned from Nepal to Vrindavan, and that was okay, say, although little bit security check. But from India to Europe, directly coming to the UK, or was
Oh,
it?
yeah. Oh, well, thanks. Yeah, there are a couple of little stories to tell from that. So, of course, this was before 9/11 and before the terrorist attack on Glasgow Airport, which following, is anybody not aware there was a terrorist attack in Glasgow Airport some years ago? Yeah, so a couple of would-be enthusiasts had filled their car full of gas bottles, petrol cans, and set themselves on fire and tried to drive it into Glasgow Airport. And there were some bollards there, and that stopped them going in. So if you could look online, you'll see it, terrorist attack in Glasgow Airport, and it was quite typical of how the Glaswegians responded. To begin with, it was one of the baggage handlers saying that there was this, I think some police approached them, and they were thinking perhaps there was something went wrong and they were trying to put the fire out, but the guy was shouting certain things, and he was fighting with the police. So this baggage handler thought, "Oh, what's going on here? We're not putting up with this." So typical Glasgow guy goes and gives him a Glasgow kiss and a kick in the such and such. And that was the end of that. it was funny because no, I'll not get into that. It's a bit of Scottish banter. But on after that, what happened is they started preventing cars going close to an airport. So you'll see you can't drop off in front of the airport like you used to be able to, and they've made a very tidy sum of sending you somewhere else and charging you £5-6 for 2-minute drop off and stuff. So anyway, before those days, security wasn't quite so tight, but still, nevertheless, there were limits. So first of all, so Prabhat Vani and I were in Vrindavan. He was staying on a bit longer, and I was coming back, and I had a rucksack full of shalagrams and a few other bags as well. And as you can imagine, it was quite a weight, although you can't, put a physical limitation on the Lord's weight. So it went to Delhi airport, and I was going through the security, and I'm not sure if it still is, but it was the military who did the security at the airport. And this, he looked like quite a high-ranking military gentleman. He says, "Oh, what's in the bag?" And I said, "Shalagrams." He said, "Oh, you can't take them." I says, "Yes, I can. It's for puja." And I showed him a photograph he'd already considered show them. And so I'd go and do it in Tilak. And he said, "No, you'll take them in your cell." And I says, "No, you can't sell them. You go to Narak." So I made it obvious. Narak means hell. I said, "If you sell the shalagrams, you go to hell for this. So no, it's for puja." He says, "Anyway, they're too heavy." And I was thinking of Prabhupada and Radha Londonishwara, the pastime there. I don't know if you're familiar with that. So there was an Indian society in London back in, I don't know, maybe 1969 or something. Was that when Prabhupada got the dates? Was it 69? Radha Londonishwara? Well, he said, yeah, because he lived there. I think we'll take you on the authority. So anyway, they wanted the Radha Krishna deities, but one, I think it was Radharani's finger was broken. And they wanted to ask Prabhupada to come and see, are they still worshipable? And if they are, you can take them. But Prabhupada, being a Calcutta boy, as he said, he was smart enough. He was thinking, they want me to come and verify that they're okay for worship, and then I'll never see them again. They'll just put them on their altar. So he went with some devotees in a van, and then he said, "Okay, Swamiji, what do you think? You seen the day? Oh yes, we can take them. We can worship them. Okay." And then the man says, "Okay, we'll arrange for their delivery." And Prabhupada says, "No, it's okay. We can take them. Oh, but they're so heavy." And then he says, "No, they're not heavy at all. Brahmananda, just feel how heavy is this one. Tamal Krishna, feel how heavy. No, not heavy at all. Okay, we're going. Thank. Oh, but Swamiji, we'll deliver them." No, and into the van, and off they drove. And as soon as they were around the corner, Prabhupada stopped and he paid his dandavats. So I was thinking of that when he said, "Oh, you can't take them, too heavy." So I was hoping the rucksack was going to hold out. I was hoping I was going to hold out too. So I just slung it over one shoulder. I says, "No, they're not heavy at all." And I just walked on. And I think I was empowered by Prabhupada at that point because I was thinking of him. And I thought he's either going to stop me and take them all off me, or he's going to take them all off me anyway. So I'm just going to bluff it. And I went on. And I couldn't even lift them over my head to put in the locker. I thought, and I want to, because if that overhead locker comes down on our heads, we're going to be in serious trouble here. So I had to pay my obeisances and ask forgiveness and put them under the seat. And then we got to Amsterdam. And Amsterdam, because it was KLM, which is a Dutch airline. So Amsterdam is famous for many things. In particular, it's famous for drugs. How do you know that? What have you been up to? Yeah, it's a fact. It's famous for drugs. And you got these little round black balls in a bag. So they were very interested. So they were putting things through the x-ray and they put mine aside. And I thought I expected that. So once again, Doti Tilak, photographs of the altar. And then so they had taken them all out and they realised, it wasn't what they thought it was. And so they said, "Oh, what is this then?" And I said, "Oh, it's for on the temple, we put them on the altar. They're from Nepal." And they said, "Oh, is it something like Buddhism?" And I says, "Yeah, something like that." He says, "Okay, on you go." So at any moment, I was the whole way along. I was thinking, at any point, any of these different checkpoints could just stop us, and then the whole game's a bogey, as they say in Scotland. So that was. Thanks for reminding us about that one. So, anything else, or should we move on to the next thing? Okay. All right, you've asked, so we better tell. So the first shalagram in ISKCON is Sri Karunasindhu Bhagavan Ki Jai. And Karunabhavan is named after Karunasindhu. My wife is also named after Karunasindhu. And he's known as a Rana Ram or King Ram. We mentioned this before on the appearance of Lord Ram, how according to Time Shashi arrived on Ram Nomi, and our original deity was Ram. And of course, we have Sadbhuj, who is Lord Chaitanya, Krishna, and Ram. So when Prabhupada was visiting South India, the head of the Ramanuja Sampradaya gave a gift to Prabhupada. It was a shalagram worshipped by Pradyumna, not our Pradyumna, but Prabhupada's disciple, and then worshipped by Jayatirtha, and left behind the altar of the Radha Landanishwara. Bhagavat Ashraya called up Balabhadra, our previous leader here, and he said, Karunasindhu is here. Do you want to worship him? Because he used to worship shalagram before. So he jumped at the chance. So before we even came to Karunabhavan, for at least 2 or 3 years, then Karunasindhu was our worshipful deity, regardless of where we stayed. And it seemed natural we'd call this place after him, because even for the first 12 years of Karunabhavan, we had no deities other than Karunasindhu, and all our focus was on serving this deity. And because Balabhadra's standard, the puja was very, very high, the deity minister at that time was Krishna Kshetra Maharaj, and he said that the pujari standard here was second to none. And people used to get shalagrams. When you start shalagram worship as Nitya Puja, you're not supposed to stop it. You're supposed to continue all your days, unless you're ill and you have someone else to cover it. So then people started sending shalagrams to him, and sometimes a talk show would go around the shops collecting donations, and he would also go into some of these kind of New Age shops or rock shops, and they'd see shalagrams and he'd get them donated and give them to Balabhadra Prabhu. So he seemed to be just collecting a few, even without endeavouring. A few stories there, but I'll not go into the details. So he did get a bit of a reputation for having quite a lot of Sheilas at one time, and then jokingly, Shivram Swami phoned up Balabhadra from Jagannath Puri, and he said, there's one place which has got more shalagrams than you. He says, beat that if you can. And he says, what is it? He says, it was under the asana of Lord Jagannath. Apparently there's, how many, is it 10 lakh or 1 lakh? What's a lakh? Is that 10,000 or 100,000? So he says a lakh of shalagrams, not lakh as in not enough, but a lakh as in 100,000 shalagrams in the Singhasan of Lord Jagannath in Puri. He says, so beat that if you can. So he didn't take it as a joke, so we get sent to Nepal. But we soon realised that this is going to be, to collect 100,000 Sheilas would mean I'd still be there. I was thinking we're going to have to open up a centre here on the side of the Gandaki River. And if that's what he wants us to do, then that's fine. But I thought it's not so practical. And the mission is actually Harinam Sankirtan. So that's how we were sent to get so many. But after we found the trouble it took to get 12,000, we realised that, okay, we better stop. Is that okay? What's that? The offerings. So previously we used to have many different offerings going on for different deities, but we've consolidated them into all the offerings go through Sri Tulsinath. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Shashi, he is the presiding deity, but all the offerings go through Sri Tulsinath. So this is the direction of our GBC Minister for Deity Worship, Nisika Bacha. When we had more elaborate puja, it was a time when we had more pujaris. So it worked out with him twice. We had to step back the puja. But as we get more pujaris in, we can review and start to add some of the more elaborate offerings that we did before. So rather than having to make up like 5 or 6 or 7 plates for all the deities, we'll make up one plate now, which goes to Sri Tulsinath, and everybody's considered fed from that. So hence Pradhan, which means basically everything's going through him. Yes.
How many shellograms do we have now? Where did the shellograms that you said we didn't know about? Where did they
Ask this man. Well, Gandaki got some, and Baladev Prabhu from Slovenia, he got quite a few more than we expected he was taking. That's another pastime for another day. Yeah, but it does bring up another quick pastime, is because we said earlier, you're not supposed to put a price on the shallogram. So sometimes when we'd go to in Nepal, Gandaki, Kathmandu, you'll find some shops that trade in shallograms. So sometimes we'd go there and pretend that we want to buy some. And then I don't know if any of you ever been such a rascal as some of us in the West were when we were kids. If you went to a sweetie shop, you'd send someone to get something from the top shelf. Meanwhile, your pockets would get something from the front counter. So in those days, we were actually quite foolish. We were imitating Krishna. He was Makanchor, and we were like sweetie chore. Interesting, the word for a thief in Scotland is chore. Isn't it? Anyone here from Scotland know the word for chore? Thief. Your question again was? Yep. I don't know. Do you know? 7. More than enough. So the more of you that get initiated as Brahmins, you can come and help do puja. And it's amazing service, actually. To begin with, I used to have to do it myself, where I'd oil all the shallograms, 12,000. It takes about a week to do that on your own, to take them out, clean them, oil them, put them back again. And then we do that just in time for this festival. But now there's less, and they're also arranged in a more manageable way, so they get cleaned and oiled more regularly. So I'm just aware that Ram Lakshman's staring at the the program.
I was just thinking whether we could do the drama just after Gaura Arati so that we can still manage.
We can do. What's next one?
Next one is, I think, Vrindashtakam. I'm ready. Yeah, okay.
See, I think it just wasn't possible to say everything I had to say in such a short time. So I can forfeit the bhajan I was going to do, because I think asking devotees to stay beyond Arti till like 7:30 before feeding them is maybe a bit of a stretch, because some of them will have work in school and that tomorrow. So apologies, but it was going to happen anyway. All right, so yeah, the next thing on the... Okay. Who's going to play harmonium? Are you going to play it as well? Is your mum playing harmonium? Are you singing? Shri Tulsinath Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Shalagram Shila ki Jai.
गङ्गेयचम्पेयतादित्रिनिन्दी रोची प्रवाह स्नपितात्मविन्दे बन्धुकबन्धुधृतिदेव्यवासो वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम् बिम्बाधरो देत्वरामन्दहस्य नासाग्रहामुक्तद्वितिदीप्तितस्य विचित्ररत्नाभरणश्रियाढ्ये वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम् सामस्तवैकुण्ठशिरो मनोश्री कृष्णस्य वृन्दाधनधान्यधाम्नि दत्ताधिकारे वृषभानुपुत्र वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम् त्वदाङ्गन्यापल्लवपुष्पभृङ्गा मृगादिभिर्माधवाकेलिकुञ्ज मध्वादिभिर्भन्ति विभूषमाना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम् त्वदीयद्युक्तेन निकुञ्जयुनोरत्युक्तयोगे लिविलाससिद्धि त्वत्सौभगं केन निरुच्यतां तद् वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम् रासाभिलाषो वसतेश्च वृन्दावने त्वदीशाङ्घ्रिसरोजसेवा लभ्याश्च पुंसां कृपया त्ववैवा वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम् त्वां कीर्तये सा त्वततन्तविद्भिर्लीलाभिधाना किल कृष्णशक्ति त्ववैव मूर्तिस्तुलसी निर्लोक्ये वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम् भक्त्या विहीना अपराधलक्ष्य क्षिप्ताश्च कामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयि त्वां शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम् वृन्दाष्टकं या सूरत् पठेद्वा वृन्दावनाधीशपदाब्जभृङ्गा सा प्राप्य वृन्दावननित्यवासं तत्प्रेम सेवां लभते कृतार्थ गङ्गेयचम्पेयतादित्विनिन्दि रुचि प्रवाह स्नपितात्मविन्दे जय राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधे जय वृन्दे देवी वृन्दे देवी वृन्दे देवी जय वृन्दे देवी जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी श्री श्री वृंदाष्टकम की जय।
Translation. You are bathed by streams of splendid that Ribuka gold, lightning and champaka flowers. Your splendid garments are friend to Banduka flower. O Vrinda, I bow down to your lotus feet. Your face is splendid with a pearl decorating the tip of your nose and a wonderful gentle smile on your bimba fruit lips. You are decorated with wonderful jewel ornaments. O Vrinda, I bow down to your lotus feet. Rishabhanu's daughter Radha made your guardian of Krishna's opulent and auspicious abode of Vrindavan, the chest jewels of all Vaikuntha planets. O Vrinda, I bow to your lotus feet. By your order, the groves where Madhava enjoys pastimes are splendidly decorated with blossoming flowers, bimba bees, deer, honey, and other things. O Vrinda, I bow to your lotus feet. Because you became their messengers, the eager and youthful divine couple enjoyed the perfection of transcendental pastimes in the forest. O Vrinda, I bow to your lotus feet. By your mercy, the people attain residence in Vrindavan, the desire to serve your master's lotus feet, and the desire to assist in the rasa dance. O Vrinda, I bow to your lotus feet. They who are learned in Sattva Tantra glorify you. You are Krishna's pastime potency. The Tulsi plant is your form in the world of men. O Vrinda, I bow to your lotus feet. O merciful one, they who have no devotion and they whom millions of orphans have thrown into the waves of lust and others wise take shelter of you. O Vrinda, I bow to your lotus feet. A person who, like a bumblebee at the lotus feet of Vrindavan's king and queen, and who reads or hears this Vridashtaka, Vrindashtaka, who eternally resides in Vrindavan and attain loving service to the divine couple. Shri Shavinda Devi ki, Shri Tulsi Maharani ki.
Next part of the program is Aliptavani Devidasi is going to give a talk on Lord Varahadev and also another talk on Srimati Vrinda Devi. Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for coming today to this festival, amazing festival. We are celebrating 3 in 1 today. So before we start, we'll chant the Mangalacharan prayers to seek the blessings of Guru Parampara and Acharyas so that I can nicely narrate these pastimes, even though I'm not qualified and eligible. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरं तिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Also seeking the blessings of all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis here. Mancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity to speak about a glorious Vamana Dev and also about our Srimati Vrinda Devi. And I would like to dedicate this talk today unto the lotus feet of Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. So first part of the talk will be for 20 minutes about Varahadev. So maybe I will drive the slides, please. Thank you. So most of you might have already read these pastimes, but just to get the flow, I will give a small recap of where it's all starting so that we understand this pastime. Because we are short of time, I will give only like outline of the pastimes. So it all begins with, we know about this pastime where the doorkeepers of Vaikunta are not allowing the 4 Kumaras to take darshan of Vishnu, and they are offending basically the Vaishnavas here, and they get into big argument. That's where Vishnu comes, and then Vishnu's giving option, like Lord Vishnu saying like 2 options for these gatekeepers. Either they can take like 7 births in the earth as his devotees, or they can go like 3 births as his enemies. And then because the Jayan, like the doorkeepers are just worried about bother, because they don't want to go away from Lord Vishnu for a lot of time, so they just chose the 3 births. And that's how in Satya Yuga and Treta Yuga and Dwapara Yuga they are taking birth as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu in the Satya Yuga, and Ravana and Kumbhakarna in Treta Yuga, and Shishupala and Dantavakra in Dwapara Yuga. So this is the reason why Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu are created as twin babies in Diti's womb. And as soon as they were in the womb of Diti, there were so many inauspicious things happened, and Diti didn't want really to give birth to such demoniac child, because she united in a very inauspicious time because of her urge, and she realized her mistake, and she carried them for nearly 100 years because she didn't want to deliver them, because she was very afraid after having them in the womb. There were so many things going on, and how it will be when she gives birth to such demoniac children. And because of nature's time, then she gave birth to Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So this demon Hiranyaksha, he was very, very strong, and he was, that's why he was able to perform, this Lord pastime. He was able to participate in the fight with Lord Vishnu himself. So these qualities we would have already studied in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, verse 4, where Krishna describes the demoniac qualities, the 6 demoniac qualities that a demon possesses, like pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance. So this is the fourth shloka from chapter 16. Dambo darpo bimanascha krodha parushyameva cha ajnanam cha bijatasya partha sampadmashurim. Yeah, so this very, very first quality is described as pride. So this person Hiranyaksha was very much proud of his strength. Even sometimes we have this, we might notice, like in our lives, this qualities will be there, like even for little things will be pride, that I'm this, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So we should learn from these pastimes how to overcome these anarthas. So what he does is he just goes to Varuna Dev's kingdom, and then he's challenging, can you come for fight with me? And then Varuna Dev says, so sorry, I cannot, because I'm already old, I'm not in that I can't fight with you. Vishnu will be the best person, you go. And he's redirecting him to Vishnu, and then he's coming to Lord Vishnu. So this is like the scene, kind of one scene. The other side will just try to understand what's happening with man mantras. I want to explain little bit of Manu so that we can understand this how Varahadev appears in two Manus. Look, in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are two forms of Varaha described, and they appear in different manmantras. So, in order to understand that, I thought I'll give a small overview of this chart. Most of us might have already seen them. So, in one day of Brahma, if we see, there are 14 manvantras. So one manvantra is nothing but a reign of the Manu's period, like a, yeah. And each manvantra, there will be each one Manu. So the manvantra's duration, if you see here, it's 71 Divya Yugas. So it's basically one Divya Yuga is a combination of all the 4 Yugas. This we all know, like Satya Yuga, Treta, Dwapara, and Kali. So the combination of one this yuga is called one Divya Yuga, and such 71 Divya Yugas makes one Manmantra, and such 14 Manmantras is there in one day of Brahma. So in the next slide, we can see here the list of the 14 names of the Manvantras, and the Manus, they appear in each Manvantra. So I've just highlighted the first and sixth one. We all know we are in the 7th Manvantra now, Vaivashvata Manu. But the Varahadev appears in the first Swayambhuva Manvantra, and also in Chakshusha. In the second, we will see the details of those Varahas who are appearing. So the first one is Adi or Shweta Varaha. So he appeared just from the nostril of Brahma. And he appeared, when he appeared, he was in white in color, and he appeared in the first Manvantra. And this pastime is really given nicely in Canto 3, chapter 13 of Srimad Bhagavatam, and particularly verse number 18 and 19 tells how this Adi Varaha appears from the nostrils of Brahmaji. As we all know, the very, very first shloka in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, chapter 1, verse 1, जन्माद्यस्य यतो अन्यवादितरतश्चार्ते स्वभिज्ञाः स्वरात् तेने ब्रह्महृदयादिकवये. So this line particularly says Krishna, the very first student of the Vedic knowledge is Brahma. So the Vishnu's breath, like from the breath of Vishnu, this Brahma is inhaling the Vedas, and from his nostril, this small boar-like form appears. He is called Adi Varaha, and he is not greater than the upper portion of our thumb. It's very small. And then what he does is, in the 19th verse, it will be explained, he just flies to the top of the sky and take a huge, gigantic elephant form, and then he's going to save Mother Earth. So, okay, so what happened to Mother Earth? Why was she under the in the bottom of the Garbhodakashayi ocean, because this Hiranyaksha, he was very much after gold, like because Hiranya means gold and Aksha means eyes. His eyes were always searching for gold, gold, gold. And what he did was he was mining the earth too much that the Mother Earth became weak and she fell out of the orbit and she got drowned into the bottom of Garbhodakashayi ocean, like Patala Loka. We have that 14 planetary system, right? So she was down in the bottom. And when so what's happening now is Varahadev is trying to go and rescue Mother Earth. So that's why he took the form of boar. So we can think why he took a form of boar. Because there are two reasons. One is like it's also mentioned in Bhagavatam, like the boar in material world we have seen it goes to all the filthy places, and down at the bottom of the ocean it's going to be very dirty. And also he has got this nice sharp pointed tusks through which he can hold Mother Earth and bring her back up. And another name for Adi Varaha is Veda Vithana Murti, because he's Vedas personified. He's emerging from the nostril of Brahma. And also we know the famous shlokas from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 6 to 8. We know why Krishna, he himself says, like in 4.6, he says, I appear in my transcendental form millennium after millennium. So that's why even though he's appearing in a boar form, it doesn't mean he's equal to animal. His body is transcendental. And also in 4.7 verse, Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya, he says whenever there is a predominant rise in a religion, and also when there is a decline in religious practice, that's when he appears. And he saw there's a problem, there is Mother Earth is undergoing so much trouble, and this Hiranyaksha is creating so much problems. So he's coming to protect the devotee and also kill the demon. And this boar is divine, because we all know Krishna, even though he takes any form, like aquatic form or animal form, whatever form he takes, still he is transcendental to the material, because he's beyond the modes of material nature. And he also did a tumultuous roar which echoed like a great mountain, and it gave joy for all the devotees and brahmanas who were standing in the shore of the ocean before the boar incarnation goes in and rescues Mother Earth. And yeah, he just rescues a Mother Earth, and he brings her up and put her on the surface of the Garbhodaka ocean. While he's bringing Mother Earth up, this is when the Hiranyaksha is coming and saying, "Hey, you stop! What are you doing?" Because he is the one who was trying to dig Mother Earth. So he notices this and he's trying to start a fight. And he also talks very filthy. Like in previous slide, we saw all the qualities, demoniac qualities. He was talking very filthy words, harshly towards Lord Varaha. But Lord Varaha didn't get agitated at all. He was very calm and quiet. He tolerated it because he was carrying Mother Earth. He didn't want to act upon the demon. And so he's just coming back and putting her on a safe place on the surface of the ocean. And then he's going to dive back into the ocean to again kill this demon. So the next form of Varaha described is the Neela Varaha, Rakta Varaha, and it's said in Bhagavatam like this Varaha was appeared in the sixth Manvantara, and his color was red or blue. And this verse mentioned is in chapter 19, verse 25 of third canto. It clearly tells how this Varaha was trying to kill this demon Hiranyaksha. The fight lasted for many years. We all may think, why can't Lord immediately kill the demon? Yes, he can, but he relishes that pastime, fighting with the demon. He likes that to prolong that fight. So he took many years to kill, and finally he gave a slap, just a slap with his lotus left foot on the ears of this demon, and he was just laid down. So that's the pastime. I'm going a bit quicker because we don't have time, and sorry about that. So, and after this pastime, if anybody, I don't know if anybody can recognize this place. This is in India, Madura. in the Ganges of, in the banks of Yamuna Nadi, the river Yamuna. This place is called Vishram Gat, and this is the place. It's said that in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, in that scripture, it's mentioned that in this place, Lord Varaha took rest because he was very tired after killing this demon Hiranyaksha. And it's also mentioned that in this place, Lord Krishna also took rest after killing demon Kamsa. So it's a very nice place to just. Well, I just thought I'll put these pictures to just let everybody know this is a place where our Supreme Personality of Godhead took rest after killing the demons. And this is just a slide for demon Bhaumashura. So does anybody know who is Bhaumashura? Whose son was Bhaumashura? Yes, Bhumi Devi. Nice. So she was born for Varahadev and Mother Earth, because when he was bringing her up from the ocean, because of the intimate connection between Lord Varaha and Mother Earth, Bhaumashura or Narakashura was born. And Mother Earth Bhumi Devi didn't want to disclose this information to anyone, because she didn't officially get married, but she disclosed this information after Krishna killed this demon. And we all know this pastime, like he kidnapped 16,100 young girls and then princesses, and then Krishna married. Yeah, that's a big pastime again for this. And I also wanted to share like few slides about the glorious dhams. There are so many Varaha temples, so many different forms of Varaha in South India and North India. So I have put some prominent places. So this is Varaha Kshetra Dham in Nepal, and it's said that this is the place where Varahadev killed Hiranyaksha, and this is the Dham. So, and there's also something in Mahabalipuram. This is South India, and we can see beautiful sculpture of Lord Varahadev. He is holding Mother Earth on his lap, and he's looking at her with love and affection. And this is Adi Varaha Kshetra. This is also very important place, because Adi Varaha Kshetra means it's just like how we say Vrinda Devi. Vrinda Devi is the proprietor of Vrindavan. Like that, this place is originally Varaha Dev is the owner of this place, and he has leased it for Thirumal Tirupati. So this place is actually in Tirupati, and he has given, like it said in one of the lectures by my Guru Maharaj, he mentioned that Varahadev is owner, and he has given this as for lease to long lease for Balaji. And this is a very, very nice special place. This temple is built by Sri Ramanujacharya, and there is a river here, and it's mentioned that when we go to Tirumala Tirupati, this is all the steps we have to follow, but many of them don't know and they are not following them now. We have to climb up the hill, take a dip in this river, and worship Varahadev, and then go and take darshan of Balaji, so that Balaji will be pleased. And there is a small pastime mentioned for this temple, how it became the original place of Varahadev. So once we know this pastime where Brihu, he kicked the chest of Lord Vishnu, and because of that, Mother Lakshmi, she left Vishnu and she came down to earth. She should not have done that, but she came down to earth looking for a place, and she found this place, and she really liked it. And then Lord Vishnu came in search of her, and then he came here down, and he also liked it, and he wanted to take this place. That's when Varahadev said, so you can stay in this place, but there's one condition: people will come and take darshan of you. Before taking darshan of you, they should come and take darshan of me. But many people are not aware of this, so I thought I will put this also in the slide. So that's one thing. And then this is another beautiful kshetra, which is called Vruddhakola and Sri Mushnam temple. This is in Tamil Nadu near Chidambaram. And this temple is also mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is one of the Divya Deshas, and it's visited by our Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. And this deity is called Lord Shweta Varaha, and he is a self-manifested Shaligram Srila. and he's a white boar. It represents a white boar incarnation, which we discussed earlier. And you can see the beautiful deity here, and he's served by Sheshanag as umbrella. I think it's mentioned in the scriptures as well. And here we can see mostly in Sri Sampradaya in South India temples, we can see the Lord is having like Sri Devi and Bhudevi beside him. So here we can see Sri Bhu Varaha Perumal, and he's in Sri Mushnam, and this is a temple Gopuram outside and inside. And here it's said that there are many Muslims living in this area, and they normally don't go into the temple, but every once in a year the Utsava deity, the Utsava Murti, will be brought out for like a parikrama, and then they take the deities for a dip into the sea. There's a sea near this temple, and they take the Varaha Murti and for the dip. So for this festival, all the Muslims also come and participate, which is very nice to hear. And they call the Varaha Sahib Varaha. It's represented like they call him as Sahib Varaha, and this is one of the Divya Deshas and visited by Lord Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And another one is this Varaha Narshinga. So this is also very interesting pastime and kshetra. This is in Simhachalam, Andhra Pradesh. And again, this is also one of the kshetras visited by our Mahaprabhu. It's mentioned in Madhya Leela 8.3 to 8.8. And this is the temple built by Prahlad Maharaj himself. Again, these Hiranyakashipu's assistants, they choose this Simhachalam as a spot for torturing Prahlad Maharaj. They were doing all this, we know all the tortures they were doing, right? So one of them was they were trying to push Prahlad Maharaj into the sea, deep into the sea. At that time, Varahadev was standing in the shore of the sea, and he jumped into the sea and rescued Prahlad Maharaj. At that time, Prahlad Maharaj couldn't see the foot of Varahadev because Varahadev's foot went up to Patala Loka. He could only see the upper portion. And then after that, Hiranyakashipu was trying too much torturing, and then Narsinghadev appeared from pillar and rescued him. After all that was over, Prahlad Maharaj meditated and he came to this place, and he really prayed sincerely to Lord to say, I want to see both the forms, the form which killed my uncle Hiranyaksha, and also the form using which you killed my father Hiranyakashipu. So two in one. So we can see the face, Varaha face, and then lion body. And again, there's a small pastime here where Ramanujacharya, that said like it's like a lingam form, and then devotees were confused whether he should be worshipped like a Shiva or a Vishnu. And then Ramanujacharya went and tried to, he's always covered with the chandan paste, sandalwood paste. And when Ramanujacharya tried to take some of the chandan paste, it said that some blood was coming, and then they put it back. So every year, like throughout the year, this deity is covered with the kilos and kilograms of chandan. Only on Akshaya Tritiya, they remove the chandan and he appears in the Nija original form. And it's a very interesting pastime. And this is the place where Mahaprabhu got really ecstatic, and he sung and he danced and he offered these prayers in front of the deity. So we all know this song. Maybe we can sing like it'll take less than a minute. We can sing this prayers to Varaha Narsinghadev. Shri Narsimha Jai Narsimha Jaya Jaya Narsinghadeva Praladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa. Thank you. All glories to Narsimhadev. All glories to Narsimhadev, who is the Lord of Prahlad Maharaj, and like a honeybee, he is always engaged in beholding the lotus-like face of the goddess of fortune. So it's a very important kshetra which we should keep in our checklist and visit if time permits in future. And it's also Ahobilam. Everybody know this place. I think it's where Narsinghadev appeared. And there are 9 Nava Narsingha temples in this Ahobilam. And one of them is Varaha Narsingha. And we can see this beautiful deity here. Krodakara Varaha Narsingha. So these are the most prominent ones, but there are many, many, many temples, and even in Jaipur, West Bengal, and Navadvip, and Mysore. Yeah, across India, there are many, many temples. and it was very interesting to research all this. And I was keen, like we should make a point to go and visit these kshetras and dhams, very holy places. And there's also a pastime about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He himself took this boar incarnation. And anybody know the name of the devotee here, for whom Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the darshan as Varahadev? Anybody? Murari Gupta. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah. So Murari Gupta pastime. So Mahaprabhu was very pleased with the service of Murari Gupta, and he gave this darshan. And he lifted the water pot, and then he roared like Varahadev, big roar. And this event again is beautifully described in Chaitanya Bhagavat Madhya Khanda chapter 3 by Vrindavan Das Thakur. And also we also know this famous shloka Dashavataram, third, because of the Dashavatars, the third one is Shukara Rupa. Shukara Rupa means Varahadev. And this is a very beautiful glorification by great poet Jayadev Goswami, who glorifies the Varahadev. We can also sing this. वसति दशन शिखरे धरणी तव लग्ना शशिनि कलंक कलेव निमग्ना केशवधृता सुकर रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे. O Keshava, O Supreme Lord, who have assumed the form of a boar, O Lord, the planet Earth rested on your tusk, and it appeared like the moon engraved with spots. So yeah, that's it. And then to wrap up this part of the presentation, I just thought, without mercy of Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada, we won't be able to dive into these nectarious pastimes from Srimad Bhagavatam. So if any of you here who don't know who Prabhupada is, he's the founder Acharya of ISKCON, and because of him, we are able to relish these, have wonderful association with devotees, chanting the holy name. He tried to give everything for us. He dedicated his life, and he particularly for writing, doing this writing seva. He just did 2 hours of sleep every day night, and rest of the time he used for translating these Sanskrit verses word by word, line by line, translations, purports, chapter by chapter, and chantos by chantos. So I thought we have to, everybody must have a copy of Srimad Bhagavatam set at our homes and install them, because Srimad Bhagavatam is none other than Krishna himself in the book form. He is appearing. So you can serve Srimad Bhagavatam nicely by studying scrutinizingly all these nectarious pastimes. So if you don't have one copy, just talk to one of the temple devotees and we can arrange for a set of Srimad Bhagavatam. Now we will maybe jump to Srimad Vrinda Devi. Yeah. So today we will see about Vrinda Devi. Any questions I will take in the last, or we can discuss, if the time permits, we can discuss even after during Prashadam time. So I just wanted to give a small introduction about Srimati Vrinda Devi and what's the role of Vrinda Devi in devotional service, and what was her role in executing Radha Krishna's transcendental pastimes, and how she appeared in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime. And finally, we will see Vrindakund and Kamyavan, about Kamyavan. So this is a picture of, on the left we can see Vrinda Devi, Srimati Vrinda Devi in Vrindavan. And on the right, we can see our glorious Vrinda Devi in Karunabhavan. She also came from Vrindavan. If you have not taken darshan of her, please go and take it from the glass house. You can see it from her outside. Yeah. So Srimati Vrinda Devi, she is the embodiment of Leela Shakti, which is the pastime potency of Sri Krishna. She's really very, very expert in arranging transcendental pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna. She is also Rupa Goswami defines like Srimati Vrinda Devi is the best of Gopis messengers. Nobody can replace her. She's such an expert. And she is also like expansion of Srimati Radharani and eternal concert of Lord Krishna himself. And she has a very golden complexion. She always dresses herself in blue garments and decorated herself with flowers and pearls. um, she has a chief disciple called Daksha. It's a yellow parrot, and underneath her disciple yellow parrot, she has like 100,000 parrots as disciples. And she is the queen of she was the queen of Vrindavan, but however she gave the Vrindavan dham, the entire dham to Radharani, because of her love for Srimati Radharani and Krishna. And she was the proprietor of Vrindavan. Nothing can be done like without her knowledge. Like she's like always orchestrator of Vrindavan. Even a leaf will not move without her permission. So if we want to get into even Vrindavan, we need the mercy of Srimati Vrinda Devi. So we'll see the role of Vrinda Devi in devotional service. So she expanded partially as Tulsi Maharani. So in this material world, to bestow the mercy, what she did was she expanded as Tulsi Maharani. So that's why we do, Tulsi Aartis in ISKCON across the world. We can see in the morning programs, our Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada has made this compulsory. We have to do Tulsi Aarti and we chant in front of Tulsi Maharani. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, Srila Prabhupada, we can see they are chanting in front of Tulsi Maharani. So we should also make a habit to do it in front of her, so that we can seek her blessings, and we can try to attain the loving devotional service for Sri Radha and Krishna. um, she also says, when we sing this Tulsi prayers, Kripa Kori Koro Tare Vrindavanavashi. So by bestowing her mercy, she will make us we are begging her so that she can make us a resident of Sri Vrindavan Dham. And when we do the parikrama like Yani Kani, it's if each step she's taking, that millions of sins that we have committed in our past life. That doesn't mean we can commit sin and take circumambulation, but she is very purifying, pure devotee of Lord. So if we attract her by our devotional service, then we can grant entry into the Vrindavan Dham, and we can follow the footsteps of gopis, because that's the Vraj Bhav. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us that Vraj Bhav. With that Bhav, we have to serve Shri Radha and Krishna without any expecting any results. So, and also this beautiful from saying from Chaitanya Bhagavat, it says that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would chant his rounds while sitting beside a tulsi plant and used to say, just as a fish cannot live when taken out of water, so I cannot remain alive in separation of Tulsi Maharani. So it's very, very important we get her, seek her blessings. So if you don't have a tulsi plant, I know in Scotland it's really cold climate. We can't, everybody can't survive, make her grow during, especially winter, she struggles without proper temperature and proper lighting. So what we can do is we can print a small color picture of Tulsi Maharani from Google it, and then we are spending money for so many other things. We can invest on this and then put a frame, and then we can keep it in our house near altar. And in the morning we can do Tulsi Aarti and do japa in front of her, so that we can get her mercy. And these are the 8 names of Vrinda Devi. Vrinda, Vrindavani, Vishwapujita, Pushpasara, Nandini, Krishna Jivani, Vishwapavani, Tulasi. Maybe we can, because we don't have time, we'll not read all this. But it's said that all these 8 names was chanted, was on the full moon day of Kartik. Lord Sri Krishna himself worships Tulsi Maharani with this mantra. So it's very powerful. So if we can memorize and chant in front of Tulsi Maharani, it will be really auspicious. And we'll see the role of Srimati Vrinda Devi in pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna. So here again you see in this picture that it gives an idea. She is the queen of Vrindavan. Look, she orchestrates everything. She has a chief parrot disciple. They are the like the live telecast. They give what's going on in the forest. They send messages to the parrots. Through parrots, she hears all the messages. Like any emergencies, if anybody like Jatila Kutila, or if anybody is coming, then they immediately pass these messages to Vrinda Devi, so that she can arrange nice pastimes for Shri Radha and Krishna. And she says how the peacocks has to dance, and how the bumblebees has to hum, how the parrots need to sing, so that like she doesn't repeat the arrangements also, just like how Radharani doesn't repeat anything she cooked for Krishna. Once she cooks, she will not repeat that. Similarly, Vrinda Devi doesn't repeat any arrangement she made for the pleasure of Shri Radha and Krishna. And she also tells how the breeze should blow, how the lotus flowers in the ponds has 100 petals. It's mentioned in the scriptures as well, and it's so aromatic. And she decides the how many lotuses has to bloom, so that when the wind blows through the lotuses, the aroma is carried across. So everything she orchestrates. And she also creates the seasons and paraphernalia, like whatever the required for meeting, particularly for Shri Radha Krishna meeting pastimes. She arranges everything. And she provides all the play sporting instruments like the water swings, water syringes, and musical instruments, swings, and everything. And she arranges the eightfold pastimes for Radha and Krishna. Okay, and this is a beautiful pastime about Srimati Vrinda Devi, who appeared as Mukunda Das. Mukunda Das was none other than Srimati Vrinda Devi, and he appeared in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime. And this happened in a place called Shrikand, not the Shrikand that we are going to eat. It's a place called Shrikand near Katwa, and this Katwa place is where Mahaprabhu took sannyas. So it's a very beautiful pastime. Actually, Mukunda Das had a son called Raghunandana Das. He was just 5 year old. And one day when Mukunda Das wanted to go out to do some work, he requested Raghunandana Das to do an offering to Gopinath Ji, because their ancestors gave a beautiful Gopinath Ji, and they have to serve him. Like the family has to serve Boga and everything, take care of him nicely. So this Raghunandana Das was just 5 year old, and he told, okay, okay, and I will do it. And Mukunda Das went out. And then he went and asked go on mother, and mother has prepared nice boga offering. So he arranged everything nicely in a big plate and brought it in front of the deities. And then he started ringing the bell. And then he expected, because he's a very small child, he expected Gopinath Ji will put the flute away and come out and start eating it. But however, it didn't happen. So he just started pleading and crying in front of the Lord. Oh Lord, please come and have the boga offering. Please accept it. My father told me to offer you. And like that, he started really getting upset and started crying. Seeing the Lord is, very compassionate to devotees. Seeing his, he got really upset. So the Lord comes out of the altar, and then he's from the deity form, and then he starts relishing the boga. And he licks each and everything, and he finishes the plate completely, nothing left for Mahaprasad. So and then father comes back home and is asking, where is the Mahaprasad, I want to taste some. And then he says, the Lord finished everything. And it was very shocking for Mukunda Das, and he says, I can't believe this. And see, so what he does is, the next day also is asking to do the same offering, like repeat it. But this time he pretended to be like going out, but he didn't go out, but he was watching from outside, behind the doors. And then when Raghunandana Das was doing the offering, similarly the Lord came out and he took a laddu and he started biting it. And when Mukunda Das saw this, he was really astonished and surprised on seeing the devotion of his son. And as soon as the Lord saw he's observing from outside, he disappeared. So it's a very beautiful pastime, and it's showing how the son is very devotional towards the Lord. And this is all the deities worshipped by Sri Narahari Sakara Thakura, Mukunda Das, and Raghunandana in Shrikant. So this is very beautiful deities, which I thought I'll put in the slides. And this place is called Kamyavan. Kamyavan is fourth forest of the 12 prominent important forests in Vrindavan. And very beautiful temple, Kamyavan, where we visited last year. Very, very nice place. And this is the most prominent and ancient deity of Vrinda Devi. Again, there's a quick pastime for this, which I don't think we have time. I'm going to run out of time. So she didn't want to move out of Vrindavan. That was a pastime. There was once like Jaipur king came to, the Muslims were trying to come and take away all the deities from Vrindavan. So the king of Jaipur, he started taking all the primary deities like Radha Govindji, Radha Gopinathji, Vrinda Devi, everybody in a bullock cart, and take them to Jaipur. And when they were taking like after 3 days, they stopped in Kamyavan for rest. And the fourth day, 3 days they stopped in Kamyavan. And fourth day morning, when we're trying to pull the bullock carts, all the bullock carts moved as planned, but Vrinda Devi's bullock cart didn't move. And because they even tried with many number of bulls and elephants, she didn't move a bit also. And then she revealed to the priest and said that I don't want to go out of Vrindavan, please don't take me. Lord Krishna is he's the Lord of universe, he can go anywhere, but I don't want to go. So she reluctantly, she didn't move. And this is the most prominent deity still worshipped in Radha Govind Mandir. And this is a beautiful Vrinda Kund, which is in front of this particular Vrinda Devi temple. If you go in Vrindavan, there is a beautiful temple of Vrinda Devi, and in front of the temple, there's a kund called Vrinda Kund, and in this kund only Vrinda Devi sits and contemplates how she can arrange the transcendental pastime for Sri Radha and Krishna. And the same temple we have like in the backside, there's a Gupta Kund. It's very secret and confidential. And that's where Srimati Vrinda Devi arranges the confidential pastimes for Sri Radha and Krishna. So, and again, this is a very a beautiful temple, and we were able to even see some parrots still. There are so many trees, and we could hear some parrots chirping. It was very, very nice dham to go and take, say, blessings of Srimati Vrinda Devi, so we can engage in the loving devotion service of Shri Guru and Gauranga. So I've gone just 5 minutes over. So that's all I wanted to talk today about Varahadev and Srimati Vrinda Devi. Any one or two questions or comments, I'm happy to take. No questions. Thank you. Srimati Vrinda Devi ki jai, Shri Varahadev Bhagwan ki jai. Premanande Hari Hari.
Thank you. Thank you. The next part of the program is actually Bhakti Steps certificate. I think I would like to call up Prana Prabhu to hand over these certificates. And also, just to let you know, if anybody wants a copy of Srimad Bhagavatam sets, we do have a few. So please come and speak to one of the temple people. Okay, thank you, Hare Krishna.
We have some Back to Steps awards to hand out, but one or two people are not here at the moment. Oh, he's here. One's here. And so, hands up anyone who's aware of this Back to Steps program. Some people. Good. I'll just explain a little bit about it. We touched on it earlier on, where it's a way of encouraging people to take up some regular sadhana, regular daily practice in their spiritual life, even if they can't make the full commitment to be like a full initiated devotee at this point, but they can start off with something. And we have some Back to Steps flyers just out in the Temple Conservatory here. Oh, and by the way, also the shop is opened at the moment, and there's a lot of nice stock. Gunducky's just brought some nice stuff back. So the backstay steps is basically designed to bring one from the point of not following anything to start to follow. I think the first step is have a bath in the morning. So that's a good thing. Cleanliness is next to godliness. One devotee said that to Prabhupada, and he says, no, cleanliness is godliness. So the idea is to, when Prabhupada came to the West, his first observation was that the Western countries are steeped in rajas and tamas gun, mode of passion and mode of ignorance. So sometimes people might not take to the full practice of Krishna consciousness straight away, but they can start by coming out of the lower modes a little bit. So this explains the different levels one can come to in books which go along with it. But in terms of making a vrat or a vow, then level 1 is actually the first level. Usually level 1 is like the top level, but this is level 1 is 1 round of Japamala every day. So if you're not doing that and you'd like to do that, and it's also a self-development recommendation for this one is Socham, external cleanliness, shower at least once a day and keep surroundings clean. Recommended books, Uplift Yourself, Inner Yoga and Journey Home. So of course, you don't have to read those specific books. If you can read Bhagavad Gita straight off, that's great. There are also many other small books. Then level 2 is Ahimsa, non-violence. So gradually just giving up the practices which are obstacles and taking on a lifestyle which is conducive for devotional service. So, and then it goes up to level 3, 8 rounds of japa a day, and following more regulative principles like non-gambling and things. Level 4, 12 rounds of japa, and engaging in more regulative principles. Level 5, 16 rounds of japa, and following the 4 regulative principles. So this way, step by step, then one can come to the platform where one can be initiated devotee. And even if you can't, then try to keep up what you're doing every day. That's important. It's more important to do 1 round a day every day than no rounds for 3 months and then 16 rounds for a few days and then no rounds again. Just keep it going regularly. If you're doing something regular, then you can build on that. And if you keep it regularly, then you gradually begin to bring the mind under control. And what you can do is, what a lot of them do is, they say, okay, I'm going to chant 1 round a day on Japamala. And so 1 round a day would mean, okay, I did have my beads. Anybody got a set of beads with them handy? Being that it is the Hare Krishna movement, we do chant japa on beads. Just in case anybody's not sure how to chant on beads, I'll show you how not to do it. As we chant the full Maha Mantra on each bead. So it's like Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And it's not like this. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. That's 1 round. I could do 16 a day, no problem. I've seen it. I'm sure some of you have seen that as well. So 64 rounds a day, like that, easy. And it's also not like this, where you chant Hare Krishna on each bead all the way around, and then back again and call that a round. There was one devotee who was chanting 16 rounds, but he said it'd take him like 4 hours a day. He didn't have time to do it. Discovered he actually wasn't chanting 16, he was chanting 32 rounds a day, because he'd go from the Krishna bead, which is the middle, the start, he'd go that way all the way around, and then back again, and then call that 1 round. Jayananda. This Jayananda. So that's why I keep an association of devotees, and in Hoxie he does a very good japa sangha. So if you have not chanted japa before, then it's a recommended process of self-realization for the age. Harinam, Harinam, Harinam eva kevalam, kalo nischeva nischeva gatira nyata. So, and if we chant one round a day, then it's not necessarily that it will just automatically happen to two, but what you can do is plan it by a certain day. I'm going to introduce chanting another round, and by a certain date. And this way we can make a plan. So we would like to invite some of the devotees up to receive their certificate. With Chaturya, Mataji, Haribo. So Chaturya's chanting one round a day. And how old are you, Chaturya? 9, 10. Yeah, I bet there was a lot of us thinking we could have been doing something a lot better with our life when we were 10-year-old than what we did. So it's amazing that youngsters are chanting japa at this age. What were you doing when you were 10? Playing football and reading comics? No comics, just football. In Scotland, that's usually when they start drinking, isn't it? About that age. So that's back to Harsh Prabhuji. We'd like to invite him up, level 2. Sometimes you do. So minimum 4 you do, but often you'll do more. That's the thing. Thank you, Bruce. So yeah, keep it up and keep on going up. And Prabhupada said that we could do it for devotees who are initiated 16 rounds on the bead minimum, unlimited off the beads. And this is in line with Krishna's instructions, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam, always chant my name. And this way we can always immunize ourselves against Maya, because Maya doesn't take a break. She's not like, oh, devotees are chanting japa, I better leave them for a few weeks, come back later, see if they're interested. No, Maya's always there. So now we also have Shyam. Oh, Haribol Prabhu. Also, last week they weren't here at the temple because they were doing a book distribution table at an event down in Edinburgh. You did quite a few books, didn't you? So this is very pleasing to Prabhupada. Prabhupada's life was put into writing his books. So distributing these books is so we to get Krishna's mercy. So now we have some people who are on the top level. We have Bhakti Nitisha, Mataji. So this is good. There's probably a time when you thought I could never do 16 a day, right? Now you're doing it for a year. Amazing. And we also have Himanshu Prabhu. Haribo. Yeah, Himanshu's doing 16 a day, following the four regs and distributing as many books as you can. Soon, him and his mum and his sister, they come out whenever they can, and when even he's got a spare bit of time, he'll just pop onto the streets and do books. Whether he's, some days he's studying, some days he's not, and then he'll just go out on his own and do some books. So this is really great future for the Scottish Yatra to see young book distributors coming out like this. And then, of course, it's very amusing, the story of the family doing Sanktan. Mum is like the spotter. You know how you get these like groups of pickpocketers, right? Somebody will be looking to see, okay, this one looks a good victim here. So a mum, Pinky, will be like, okay, get this one here. And then Himanshu and Jyoti, they descend upon them. And then, yep. So that's good. So for those who would like to learn more about the Back to Steps, there's some flyers just outside in the conservatory there. Take it home and read about it. And if you want to speak to any devotees to get some practical tips, how to introduce some bhakti into your life, and then gradually come to the point where you go back to Godhead. So next on the program is? Okay. Okay, well, we should have Artie. We're trying to squeeze so many things in, and it's painfully obvious that there's not enough time in the day to do all these things. So I think the Talkshow's talk is very important because this is the main celebration of the day, and if that takes us to Artie, then we can do the drama another day if need be. Is that okay? Okay, whatever. As long as things can get wrapped up for Artie time.
Shri Nityananda ki. So what's the So there's different Hare Krishna. Everyone hear me okay? Different reasons. Well, first thing is Sankirtan is something that we talk about a lot in ISKCON. And Sankirtan means complete glorification. Generally, we take it to mean book distribution, but Sankirtan can mean a lot of things. That we come together and we all chant together. Giving out prasadam is also type of Sankirtan. Means complete glorification. So the first part of Sankirtan is the Kirtan. And before we can do Kirtan, we have to have hearing. First of all, we hear, then we can chant, and then we can do Sankirtan. Then we can go out and we can glorify the Lord. So that's the first thing. We work on ourselves first. It's like we emphasize very much book distribution. The first person we need to give a book to is ourselves. And then when we get the book, we read it, and then we implement it. So on a day like today, actually tomorrow is the real day, but we're glorifying Lord Nityananda today also. We can glorify Lord Nityananda every day, actually. Then we're thinking, how can we please Lord Nityananda? If Lord Nityananda is pleased, that's all our problems finished. Our only problem is, are we pleasing Lord Nityananda? If we can please him, he's the most merciful and the most easiest one to approach. And he also comes in the form of guru. There's Vishnu Tattva which is Krishna or one of his incarnations, like we've been hearing about Varaha Dev. Then there's Shakti Tattva, like Radharani or Shrimati Brindadevi, the female aspect. And then there's Jiva Tattva, that's all, we're all like Jiva Tattva, we're all tiny, insignificant living entities. And if the Jiva is empowered either by Radharani or by Balaram or Lord Nityananda, then he becomes Guru Tattva. So we want to please Lord Nityananda, and one of the ways we can do that is by Sankirtan. So Sankirtan, first of all, we're chanting nicely, and then we're reading nicely, and the reading is telling us to chant and how to chant. Then we chant nicely, and then we can go out and we can glorify the Lord and distribute the mercy. So in ISKCON, there's a big emphasis laid upon book distribution, because Prabhupada said that pleased him the most. And there's a big initiative in the UK now to do a campaign to increase our distribution of books from last year by 20%. And Tikshu Prabhu, he's in charge of the warehouse where all the books are kept. He was saying that the greatest number of people in ISKCON are the ones with the least amount of commitment. So we have all these different bhakti steps, and then eventually have devotees that are fully initiated and then full-time. And we have a massive congregation of devotees who are chanting to some degree, reading to some degree, but they have other commitments, so many other things that they have to do as well. And Tikshu was saying that if every one of those did one book a week, we would double the book distribution for 2025. So we can reach out and we can say, okay, would you like to do that? Would you like to step forward and say, I'll do 50 books this year? If one week you miss doing a book, next week do 2 books. Or if you have a bad month, do 4 books on the last day. And at the end of the year, 50 books. So that's one way that we can increase. And if we're increasing Sankirtan and book distribution, then we can be sure that Srila Prabhupada is pleased. And if Srila Prabhupada is pleased, then Lord Nityananda will be pleased. And the special benediction is if you please Lord Nityananda, he frees you from all material desires. So if you wake up one morning and you're looking for your material desires and you say, what happened to my material desires? I had all these different things. I don't seem to be interested at all. Then you can know that was the day that you got Lord Nityananda's mercy. Srila Prabhupada once said, it was like Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj was telling us that, it was actually Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj who said, if you want to make Krishna laugh, then just tell him your plans. So we have all our schemes and plans and things that we want to do in the material world, but Krishna actually knows what's going to happen. So the better thing is to find out, well, what's Krishna's plan? Can I fall in with that plan? And Krishna's plan, of course, is that everybody gets Krishna's mercy. And for most of us, what really sealed the deal was reading Srila Prabhupada's books. And Prabhupada has been specially empowered to present the philosophy of Krishna consciousness in such a way that people become convinced. So an interesting thing just to share with you, there's a devotee called Mahotsava, and I was over in Budapest a few weeks ago, and Shiv Raj had sent all his disciples, all the Sankirtan disciples, out to Atlanta, and Mahotsava was teaching them. Now he just goes out and he does like not just one set of Bhagavatams, he does like 100 set of Bhagavatams, you know. I'm not sure what the record is, but he holds it. But it's thousands and thousands of books just in one day, you know. So he told the devotees from Budapest, it's not what you say, it's what you pray. That's what counts. So I just tried it yesterday. I was standing there on Buchanan Street. People are going past me, like 50,000 people a minute on Buchanan Street. I was just standing there. I was just, oh, please, Lord Nityananda, send along somebody. And then somebody would just come along and they go, excuse me, Bhagavad Gita. And it happened 3 times. They're like, oh, Bhagavad Gita. I've been looking for a Bhagavad Gita. 3 times. So if you think, I can't do Sankirtan, instead think, can I pray? If you can pray, then you can do Sankirtan. All you have to do is pray. Just have that faith. Not that I've got much faith, but whatever faith you have, it will be strengthened by praying and on Sankirtan. If anyone wants the books to go out, it's Lord Nityananda. He wants millions of books going out. So we pray to Lord Nityananda, please, can you send somebody along that wants a book, and just let me be your instrument. And it's amazing thing to try. And we have young devotees now that want to take up the Sankirtan and try it. Sankirtan is actually a career. It takes a lifetime to perfect it. So the earlier we start, the better we can get at doing it, And if you haven't started yet, then start as soon as possible. There's all different ways of doing the books as well. We can do the books by giving the book, describing it, selling the book. We can do the book by saying, hello, I'm from an eco farm. We do all this work to help people. Can you help with a donation? And then give them the book. Or you can buy 10 books and just say, excuse me, I'm passing these books out today. If you want to, you can give a donation, but you don't have to. The book is yours. It's a gift, Of course, it's good if you can do that, because I was on Buchanan Street the other day, and some of our Muslim friends were giving out free Qurans. And for us, generally, we don't give the books out free. And it really brought home to me why we don't just give them out for free. Because there was 2 young boys, and they had the Quran, and they had it open very reverentially, and they were kind of looking at it and kind of making jokes and kind of almost tearing the pages. And I could see that book wasn't going to make it home. It would end up in the first bin, because it's free, so it has no value, you see. And Vaisheshika Prabhu, one of the Prabhupada disciples, he often says, by people giving something, then it has some value. Then they'll be less inclined, Prabhupada said also, he said, I've given some money for this nonsense book. Let me at least see what it's all about, So there's more chance. But anyway, however you can do the books. There was a devotee, Amita. He was in charge of the BBL, which is where all the books were stored and distributed at one time in the UK. And he was just curious to see when a book goes out, how many hands does it pass through before it gets read? Because it's generally not the person who gets the book straight away. He gets the book, he looks at it, and he thinks, I'm not going to read this, and then he passes it on. And because he was getting letters in from people that were reading the books, then his little survey to them was, oh, and by the way, how did you get the book? And it was given to me by a friend, who was given to by his friend, who was given to by his friend, who was given to by his friend, who was given to by someone that got the book on the street. So it's not generally the person who you give the book to that's going to be the one that reads it, So our main thing is the books go out, they go into the hands of the living entities, and then where the book goes after that, that's up to the book to decide. So we just have to try and facilitate that. Just let the books go out. And in Scotland at one time, we were number 1 in our size temple, year after year after year. And we had one devotee here, Charadeshna Prabhu, and his Guru Maharaj said to him, I want you to do 1,300 books today. So we were in Aberdeen, and I remember, because Chara's only short, he's only about 5 foot. And we had all the books stacked up ready outside the Trinity Centre in Aberdeen. And Chara comes over to me and says, Prabhu, I can't reach the books, because we had them all stacked up, So I had to bring the book down for him, open the box. And at that time, we were doing 5 different small books. So anyone that gave a donation, 5 books, 5 books, 5 books. So he went off, and from 9 in the morning till around 6 o'clock at night, 1,300 books in one day. So when his Guru Maharaj heard that, he says, oh, that's very good, Chara. Tomorrow, 1,400. And you should have seen Charo's face. His face was like, it was like steam coming out of his ears. And he's just like there at 9 o'clock. End of the day, 1,400 books, which at that time was a record. Since then it's been smashed a few times. But and it's an amazing feeling when you've distributed that amount of books. When you come back, you're kind of like intoxicated. We used to get intoxicated just taking the books. We had at one time where the Airbnb now is, the books used to be stored there, and the big truck would come up, and we would hand the books. We would have like a line, and the books would be getting passed down and then get passed in. And because we were touching the books for so long, after a while, everybody was laughing. Nobody knew what they were laughing at. We were like everyone was thinking, what are we laughing at? What was the joke? I don't know, but it's really funny or whatever it is. And then we realized it's because we're touching so many books, we're getting intoxicated from doing that, you know. So touching the books, distributing the books. Prabhupada said even if they just take the book to the bin, then they get the benefit of carrying Krishna. That's how powerful, you know. So when they come in contact, then they get Mahapunya, which means human birth, next life. If they read the book and commit, it's Swasti Aina, they embark on an auspicious journey. And if they fulfill that journey, then Shubham, they go back to Goloka. So a 3-step level of auspiciousness. But at least at the very first, we ensure that the majority of human society are not going to lose the human birth, Triato Mahato Vaya, which is the greatest danger, the greatest fear. And then the field becomes nourished. All these people are coming back. They've taken up the process to some degree. And now here they are again. And here they are getting another book. And here they are taking off again. And now everything's starting to... And then eventually the percentage of Shubham, the percentage of people that this is their last lifetime in the material world increases till the percentage becomes quite high. And people are just... There's like a channel just going through the material energy and there goes another one. There goes another one, you know. So we're getting a chance to play our part in that. And this is very early days in 10,000 years. One Prabhupada disciple, he wrote in his offering to Srila Prabhupada, he said, we can't really see what you've done, Srila Prabhupada, because we're only here for a few short years. But the demigods, they'll be watching and they'll see what will take place over the next 10,000 years. And they'll be the ones that will actually see what Srila Prabhupada did, what he set into motion, how he set up a whole program. And what we're doing here with the Bhakti steps to get to the point of 16 rounds, 4 regular principles, and devotional service. That's Prabhupada taking the nectar of instruction and then giving the nectar of instruction, the essence of all instructions, the essential covenant that he drew with Krishna, where he said, if you do this, you'll go back to Godhead. Because Prabhupada is a pure devotee, if he's saying that, then Krishna can't not come up with the goods. Just like Krishna was getting on Lord Brahma's case, he said, "You should be a bit careful. You know, you're giving out all these benedictions. You know, I'm the one that has to kind of, you know, you're my pure devotee, so whatever you say, I'm going to have to back it up. You know, but can you be a bit, you know, the next time?" So Prabhupada, the same. You know, he said this, so that's it. Krishna's got to fulfill the promise of his pure devotee, and then Goloka is just there. One lifetime, it can be there. We can go back. This is it, finished, bas, once and for all. And that's what Nitai wants to see happen, because he wants to please Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya is an anxiety because he sees we're rotting here in the material world. We don't think we're rotten. We think we're having it. Well, you do when you get to 60, you do start feeling like you're rotten in the material. Well, the teeth are coming out now and everything's... But when you're younger, you're thinking everything's okay, you know. But Lord Chaitanya can see that everything isn't okay. So therefore, he's an anxiety to try and help us. Jai Nitai, Shri Hariram Sankirtan Ki, Gaura Premanandi, Hariram. So we'll finish there, and now we'll do a drama. Well, it'll be an animated narration, actually. And for that, we need Nitish, and we need... Haridasha. Are they still here? Any quick questions before we do an animated drama? Reflections, comments? We just had the main, you know, the building down there, that's the office. Temple room is where the studio is. And we just had the ashrams at the side. And then when we got, how long was it when we got this place before the deities? The deities were down there to begin with, weren't they? Yeah. We were small, were we? We became medium, yeah. If you keep passing out books, you see, you end up going from a small temple to a medium because you start making devotees.
When we do distribution, I hear this common answer to say we can read it online, we don't need books. How to convince people?
Oh, they can buy it online?
No, we can read it online.
Oh, they can read it online.
Yeah, they read it. How can we convince them to take a copy?
Oh, you can say, okay, well, that's fine. Then I tell you what, forget the books. We're doing a lot of nice work in Les Mahego to reduce the stress and trauma of material life. Why don't you just give a donation to keep everything afloat for us so we can keep on doing it? And they say, yeah, okay, I can do that. I say, oh, and by the way, why don't you take this free book as well? You can give it to a friend, like that. Sometimes you have to be a little bit clever. It's generally not the person that's taking the book that's going to be reading, you see. So the main thing is just to get the book in their hand and then let the book go where it needs to go, What's the main thing? Just let the books go out. And Prabhupada wanted blanket distribution. Not that we're giving everybody a sleeping bag, but that he wanted it just like en masse, the books just everywhere, just going out. And it's interesting, not like Sati, but the Sati before, where the Muslim friends were doing Qurans. They were coming up and saying, "What is this Bhagavad Gita anyway?" And saying, "Well, it's about this, it's about okay. How much do you want? £10? Okay, I'll give you £10. Three of them, yeah. One of them, and then one of them went back and got a free Quran for me and came back and gave me a Quran. So I've got to read that now. I promised I would read it. So okay, everyone's here, fantastic. So all we need is a little bit of space in the front. This is enough actually. And then we need your good self and your good self to come up the front. We'll share the microphone. We can share the script as well. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki. We can go microphone. I'll let you do that.
Haribo.
Okay. You want to speak loud enough or use the microphone?
Yeah.
No, you don't need that. So if everyone can imitate the sound of a rock, thank you. And imagine yourselves 500 years ago. You were probably still in the material world at that time. And at that time, we are in Nadia. And there's three personalities in this animated speech. I'm the most sinful Madai, very easy for me. And then we have, are you? We have Ramesh Jetwal. He makes cloth. He makes a lot of nice stuff, actually. And then we have Dabi, Himat Dabi. He's actually a doctor. Okay. So, Madai. The chanting of the holy name of Lord Vishnu is the best process of atonement for a thief of gold or other valuables, for a drunkard, for one who betrays a friend or relatives, for one who kills a Brahmin, one who indulges in sex with the wife of his guru or another superior. It's also the best method of atonement for one who murders women, the king or his father, for one who slaughters cows, and for all of the sinful men. Simply by chanting the holy name of Lord Vishnu, such sinful persons may attract the attention of the Supreme Lord, who therefore considers, because this man has chanted my holy name, my duty is to give him protection. The holy name of Krishna frees one from sin, but if one is an offender of the greatest devotee, how will such a person be delivered?
Let's go over here and refresh ourselves. There is a beautiful newly constructed ghat.
Yes, I see it. Our pilgrimage through all our holy place over these last 2 months is starting to catch up on an old man like me.
Pilgrims, welcome to our humble bathing ghat. Please, let me take your luggage and escort you to the steps nearest you.
Why, thank you, my friend. Please allow us to take some of the load.
It is nothing compared to what it should be. Please follow me. Whilst you are bathing, I will arrange for prashadam. Then I will take your lotus feet and bathe them, and then show you to suitable quarters where you may rest.
That is very kind of you. But please, you do not have to go too much trouble. My friend and are not very special personalities. We have come visiting the holy place in our ripe old age, having led a materialistic life.
Spoken like a true sadhu, dear sir, by serving such great souls as yourselves, I am hoping to relieve myself of a great burden of sin, which hangs over me like a terrible cloud.
Spoken like a true Santu. Sorry. Please, my friend, sit down for a moment with us and tell us your story. If we can help, then certainly we have tried.
Haha, actually, I prefer not to sit but to carry this heavy load. Only when I can suffer do I feel some relief from my wicked heart. But I will sit and I will tell you my story for what it's worth.
My name is Imad Dabi, and I am a cloth merchant from Calcutta. This is my friend Ramesh Jweta. He is a doctor staying not far from me. We have come on a pilgrimage to mitigate our sins before death snatches us away.
Tell me, friend, what is your name and profession? What great sin have you performed that weighs so heavily upon your shoulders?
I was born in a Brahmin family, but very quickly I became a rogue. My brother and I terrorized the whole town we lived in. Due to our high social positions and great financial assets, no one could step in our way. And so we raped, we murdered, and we pillaged one poor innocent victim after another, after another, after another. Our reign of terror spread over many years. There was not a sin we did not commit, nor a rule of human sanctity we did not break. Indeed, we took the Manu Samhita, the great law book for mankind, and systematically, page by page, line by line, broke every single rule. My name is Madai, lowest of the low, most wicked of the wicked.
My dear friend, certainly you have led a life full of sin, yet now you have been saved. Now there is no more need of limitation.
Yes, it is stated in the scriptures that even the killer of Brahmins can easily attain mukti just by vibrating the shadow of the holy name. What to speak of all the humble service you are rendering to all the pilgrims.
Yes, it is true, sir. Sin like a cloud is very easily dissipated by the rising sun of the holy name. But my misery is not just due to sin, but to the greatest offense, to the greatest devotee, which sinks deeply into my heart like a shaft which I can hardly bear.
Please go on, dear friend. We shall find a way to help you.
One day my brother and I were very intoxicated, as per usual, when a very great and saintly personality came into our presence. His face was as beautiful as the moon, and his body, bedecked with blue silken cloth, was indeed the form of pure eternal bliss. He was none other than Lord Nityananda.
Nityananda? Ah.
That was a gasp. He asked us to chant the holy name of Gauranga just once. Angry at his instruction, our drunken stupor, and somewhat aghast at what we felt was his audacity, we chased him away and again resumed our wicked indulgences. The following day he came again, this time more insistent. I became so angry. I couldn't bear to see him again. I picked up a heavy clay pot. I could hardly move it, but somehow or other I lifted and threw it. It struck Nityananda in the head. The pot broke and the jagged edge dug deep into the Lord's beautiful head. His blood gushed forth and flowed down his angelic face.
Vishnu, shame on you.
Very soon the news reached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself like a great swelling hurricane. He arrived. Magnificent in his ferocious anger, he summoned his Sudarshan chakra and was about to annihilate us there and then. Nityananda Prabhu pleaded with Chaitanya to spare us. He said, everyone in Kali Yuga is like these two trembling sinners. My dear brother, if you kill them, you will have to kill everybody. Actually, the Lord should have killed me. right there and then, and sent me to the darkest region of his creation for the rest of eternity. But he accepted Lord Nityananda's statement and spared us.
My friend, despite your grave offense, Lord Nityananda has been very kind to you. Please now reciprocate and take fully to chanting the holy names and serving the Vaishnavas.
I try, pilgrims, but it is like a living hell. Indeed, the only relief is the pain I can undergo for all the wrong I have done. So you see, my friends, you cannot help this wicked aparadi who carries the burden of the greatest offense to the personification of compassion himself.
Dear friend, it is stated in the Shastra that Lord Chaitanya is so merciful in this age of Kali that even the most sinful will be delivered by simply chanting the holy name of Krishna.
Yeah, that is very good, my friend. But does it mention anywhere in any scripture how one can make up for the offense of mutilating the personality of compassion and kindness? Does it mention in any smriti, in any Purana, in any of the Vedas, how one can rid himself of the agony caused by making Nitai's face stream with rivulets of blood? If there is, my friends, I have certainly not seen it yet.
You talk so much of Nitai, seeing Nitai, hurting Nitai, but you have not listened to Nitai, you fool! Lord Nityananda declares very boldly, Bhaja Gauranga, Kaha Gauranga, Laha Gauranga, Namare, Jai Jana Gauranga Bhaje, Se Amara Prana He. That fortunate soul who just worships Gauranga, calls out for Gauranga, and gives everyone whom he meets the holy name of Gauranga, that very person becomes
my life and soul. My very life and soul. Gauranga. Gauranga!
Gauranga! Gauranga!
Gauranga! Gauranga! Gauranga! The end. Okay, that was good. 2 minutes. Wow.
So just before Arti, if everyone would like to stand for Arti, put your mat and your chair away. Shanti, Auntie. Yeah, if you like to stand up, put your mat and your chair away. We'll have Arti now. Adhoksha, I think you're singing this, aren't you? Jaya Kodanita Jaya Mayapur Shashi 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 Shri Kodita Mayapur Shashi Ki Shri Nityananda Rama Ki Shri Nityananda's appearance day Ki
Gaura Chandre Aroti Keshobha Aroti Keshobha Vitatabhane Yagamanalobha Jana Vitatabhane Yagamanalobha Dakini Tai Chan Bame Gadadhara Dakini Tai Chan Bame Gadadhara Nikate Advaita Srini Vasa Chatradara Nikate Advaita Srini Vasa Chatradara Bosi Ache Gaurachan Ratna Singha Shani Bosi Ache Gaurachan Ratna Singha Shani Aroti Korena Brahma Adi Devagani Aroti Korena Brahma Adi Devagani Nara Hari Adi Kori Chamaradulaya Nara Hari Adi Kori Chamaradulaya Sanyaya Mukhanda Vasu Goshadigaya Sanyaya Mukhanda Vasu Goshadigaya Shankha bhaje gandha bhaje bhaje karathala Shankha bhaje gandha bhaje bhaje karathala Madhura Mridanga Bhaje Kanta Bhamasala Baho Koti Chanda Dini Vadana Jala Koti Chanadi Vadana Jala Gala Deshe Pandamala Kore Jalamala Gala Deshe Pandamala Kore Jalamala Shiva Shukhanarada Preme Dadadada Shiva Shukhanarada Preme Dadadada Bhakti Vinodadeke Korara Sampada Bhakti Vinodadeke Korara Sampada Shiva Jaya Jaya Gaura Chandra Anoti Kesova Jana Vitata Bhane Jaga Manalava Gauranga Arotik Sova Jaga Janamana Lova Gauranga Arotik Sova Jaga Janamana Lova Shankha bhaje, kanta bhaje, madhu 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 bhaje. Shankha bhaje, kanta bhaje, madhu 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 bhaje. Madhu 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 bhaje. Whoa! Madhu 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 bhaje. Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura, Haribo. Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram. Jaya Kodanitai, 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 Kodanitai. Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nikagora Haribo, 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 Haribo. Nikagora Haribo, 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 Haribo. Nikagora Haribo, 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 Haribo. Haribo, 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 Haribo. Go! Premanandi. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivajika Kacharya Astatara Shishi Madhistava Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Kodi Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Shri Rup Shri Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Raghunath Sir Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai Prem Sakho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhupada Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasa Adi Gaura Bhattarinda Ki Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Govardhan Shamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhana ki jai. Gangamai Jumanamai ki jai. Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi ki jai. Shri Brihadvadanga Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Shri Kunabhav Dhamma ki jai. Shri Karnitai Maya Pashashi ki jai. Shri Karnitai ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi Haribo. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga.
Namaste Narsimhaya. Dela dela nadaine. Hiranyakashi purvakshaha. Shilatankanakalaye. Ito nashima parato nashima. Yato yato yami tato nashima. Bahir nashima ridayir nashimo. Narashima madim sharanam prabhade. Tavakar kamalavare nakam abhuta shinga dalita hiranyakashipu tanuvingam keshavadita narahari rupa jai jagadish hare jai jagadish hare jai jagadish hare. Keshavadrita narahari rupa jai jagadish hare jai jagadish hare jai jagadish hare. Jaya Nrsimhadev, Jaya Nrsimhadev, Jaya Nrsimhadev, Jaya Nrsimhadev. Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha. Jaya Nara Hari, Jaya Nara Hari, Jaya Nara Hari, Jaya Nara Hari. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Shri Nashim Bhavan ki, Prahlad Maharaj ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaura Premanande.
Okay, before you all run away, I made a few announcements earlier on. Some of you weren't here when I did make them, so I just want to go through them again. We'd like to thank Paul and Carol for sponsoring today's feast in memory of Carol's mum, Brenda, who just passed away. Sima Prasad ki. So please give your blessings for Brenda. I'd like to thank Pradyumna Prabhu for sponsoring today's new outfit, which was very beautiful, made by Karuna Sindhu. The shop is still open, and a couple of girls have been selling books out there as well. So there's a bit of competition between there and there. But the shop is open at the moment, and also there's another shop. Rajasthan family decided to try to make some funds for the temple by selling pizzas, samosas, and cupcakes. So there's plenty of prasadam there for the feast. But if you want to take some home, then there's some prasadam for sale, which is going to become a regular thing because Madhu's also going to get involved in this. He was down visiting the man and he got a few ideas, so we're going to let him loose in the kitchen. And also, just for any devotees who know, and even if you don't, then say some prayers for Gauranganam, who recently passed. He was a Sankirtan devotee who lived here at Krunabhavan. And I think maybe one more thing is the CPO team, hands up here, who's part of the CPO team. Okay, so Karuna Sindhu will get in touch with you all, and she wants to arrange a meeting next Sunday if you can be here, because then we need to do a community CPO awareness. If you don't know what CPO, it means Child Protection Office. I think that's it. Anything else? Okay, who's from Edinburgh here? Okay, just in case you didn't know, I think you all do know because you all attend that one. There is a regular program every Wednesday in Edinburgh. Please attend that. And Friday, yeah. One day at a time, I was coming to that. Yeah, they also have regular house programs. So if anyone's here from Edinburgh who doesn't know about that, see Ram Lakshman here. And also Balashar has been working on the Glasgow Namhat location at the new Hindu temple, the Mother Earth temple. And what's that? So I thought that was some kind of signal, some kind of mudra. Okay, so Prasadam should be getting served over there now. Shri Varahadev ki, Shrimati Vrindadevi ki, Shri Tulsinath Maharaj ki, Shri Nityananda Rama ki, Shri Nityananda Sapinste ki, Shri Kuntai Mahaprashashi ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Shri Prabhupada ki.